Hey, and we're live. How's everybody doing? Um, just getting set up over here. I got a laptop, so this is kind of weird. I had to remove my uh, other one, so this one actually takes up the space. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to do. I actually got this laptop on top of a tub, a tote, storage tote, and then I got a 3 drawer shelf sitting sideways right now. This is not so it's a work in progress, but I'm simple like that. I don't really fuss. Why am I going to spend $200 on a desk when I got totes and shelves sitting sideways? I can put it on the side, so we're good. You know what I mean? Like it's this easy. Everybody wants too much stuff. I'm just teasing. It's just funny how guys, and it's not like it's not the ladies too, but the girls, they like more stuff just by default, and that's fine. But guys, it's just. I was talking to a buddy of mine. He's like, "Yeah, I still got my own place." Is like, what did he say? He's like, "I got a TV, a chair." Like you don't have a couch. He's like, "Not just a chair." It's too funny. Hey Linda, hey Bravery. How's it going out there? Hope all the energy is doing good for you guys. Yeah, today I wanted to get into sort of, I guess, the work, right? It goes back to like I always kind of say with things is it's all just rinse repeat, So it's really important that we remember that in the spiritual realm, I think it's interesting you can live your whole life or whatever, growing up and you're like religious, you're this or you're that, and then all of a sudden something new comes to mind. Oh my gosh, right? And it's all, this path, right? It's all about like insights and new epiphanies and over and over and over and over again, about yourself, about other people, about the universe, about everything that's going on, right? And so it's so much stuff. And when we remember that, for every person who's like, oh my god, it might not just be about this one religion, right? You have everyone else who's not in that religion looking at them going like, yeah, that's what we've been saying, right? But they're in theirs. So then this guy is now looking over at them going like, is that right? As we all come into the patterns which is happening, right? So the reason I'm calling this stage 2 is because the denial stage is over. So isn't that the first stage, right? Denial, and then after the denial comes the anger. So get ready. We gotta be nice. Love you, angelfish. Love you guys. Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you. I've just been really cutting back, going through the psychological, warfares, which is always here. And that's what I wanted to talk about too, right? So it's all psychological, this whole creation, for every time you think you figured something out, you realize how much you don't really know, right? That's the path, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, we're like this. And then, spirit's just like, you don't even know, you got, how many lives you've lived, how long, like everything you guys are being taught is just like a story, like for this little tiny earth that's just here, like there's, for you guys, we forget whole freaking galaxy out there, like unending virtually, right? um so it's cool to come into all these realizations, and they're just going to happen faster and faster and faster for people, especially the movies. Just look at how all the movies are talking about stuff. Like, what was it, Shang-Chi? Is that, am I saying it right? Shang-Chi, had all that stuff. And then Eternals, if you guys haven't seen Eternals. And then what was the one with Loki, the series, right? Where Loki had, like, it's just, this is coming more and more and more and more and more. And so instead of narrowing it down, once again, like we've always done, and trying to put it all into boxes, we really have to open up. Really, really, really open up. Third eye, heart, and your root. You have to open it all up and be vulnerable. And that's probably one of the scariest things. And I think that's what everybody, runs into. said my browser lost connection to the mic and I had to. You guys are good? Are we good? Okay. It muted me. I think it's because the laptop is like updating in the background. I have to restart it, but I had to go live. So, okay. Yeah, it did cut out. Thank you, Linda. Yeah, that was weird. Yes, Matrix 2. Oh my gosh. I'm glad you mentioned Matrix because they did that again in the new one. I don't want to spoil it if you guys haven't seen the new Matrix. I loved it a lot. I just didn't really care for the ending. I wanted to smack all of them at the end. Just, oh my God, here we go again. But I won't spoil it. I'm just, what's up, founders? Yeah, no, the stages, stage 2. We're at stage 2. If you think that it's crazy, has been crazy, right? That was just the panic and the freaking out and the denial and now it's going to be like, it's kind of like it's the end of stage 1, stage 2, because been in denial for 2 years, the majority of the world, if you will, even though I'm pretty sure the majority of the world hasn't been in the majority, like every time they say this many people are this or this many people are, the numbers are inflated. You know what I mean? They just want you to, go get it or something like if everybody got it, why is this so everybody's got to go get it? So, it's like clearly nobody's getting it, huh? That's what you're really saying. So it's really important to listen to your own inner, and all the time. It's like, it's very interesting when you experience things like this, or spirit tells you things, or you get intuitions like, no, don't do that, and then it comes out 2 or 3 years later that it was probably a good idea, to just kind of not touch that. Not that anything's bad if you do, and we're not going to be able to protect from that too, but this is key to finding everything that you've been looking for yourself. It's not out there. And we say this a million times, it just isn't. All of the outside stuff comes when your inside stuff fixes itself, So if you want love and you want light, you want dark, you want, right, all of these things, which you are. And that's a lot of the reason why the spiritual community is what I see in this spiritual community when we get separated, or they get stuck in separation, or people, it's too much nicey. I didn't come here and grow up as a street kid, whatever, in Chicago, suburbs of Chicago, partying, skater boy, whatever, like for no reason. Like, it doesn't matter if you're light or you're dark, you can still be strong, you know what I mean? Or you can still defend yourself, and you can still, it's not dark all the time just because you like a heavy metal song, right? I talk about the music, and there are times I'm like, no, I really don't want to listen to this. I feel too sensitive, It's like, let's put on some Bob Marley or, some Jack Johnson or something like that's just fun. But like more mellow, there's a ton of them, but it's like, we have to embrace more of ourselves, because the problems that are in the world is from people not embracing themselves on the inside. Because if you see something outside and it does that, you don't like it, it's because you don't like it. You don't like it. It's not because it's bad. You know what I mean? It's because you don't like it. And so that's a huge thing. Like, for really, it's self-reflection constantly. Because if you're self-reflecting, then you have to have a part of yourself that is watching yourself, reflecting on yourself. It's like, that's how it goes, right? Because we're from the logos, grandson, son, and then the sons, and then the sons, and the sons, and then sons and daughters. Here we are, but merging of the polarities is key, because a lot of people don't want to do it, or a lot of people feel like, I'm going to ascend and I'm just going to be, love and light, or, whatever. And that's it. Shout out, what was I listening? I was listening to Peace Dealer. Shout out Peace Dealer. He was talking about, he just mentioned like the light work and the dark work or whatever. I was watching this last transit one. And he really made a good point, because I've talked about it a lot on the show, where, you got to merge, it's yin and yang. There's always dark within the light. There's always light within the dark. And this idea of like being a light worker, being in this, being that, you have to take that into consideration. Wherever you're at, whatever you want to be, doesn't matter. Why do you want to be it? Like the question, not what you believe. Why do you believe it? Right? So why do you want to be a light worker? Why do you want to be a spiritual teacher? Why do you want to do this? Why do you want to do that? Right? And if it's always in opposition of something else, right, well, then it's not that it's not good, but you know who you are, why you want to do things, and where it's all coming from. And so we live in a world where it's like, be nice so you don't go to jail, right? For some people. Other people, it's like, be nice so you don't go to hell, right? And then for other people, and it's all an external societal like thing. Like, what did I can't remember. And I wanted to remember this one for this. It was like this morning when I got up, or something, when I got up, where it was just such a simple thought that I had, and then like, okay, like guys are simple, right? And whatever, just give me a stick and, and we're good, because usually guys are like, just give me a blanket and a pillow. I'm good on the floor, like for the night. And not necessarily everyone, but, even that, it's like, even that is a stereotype. Even that's like, it's all from this societal system, right? And so to truly emphasize what's inside yourself, we don't have a lot of the avenues, and for like true spiritual, progression, like outside of religion, everything. And religion is politics. Politics is religion. I mean, come on. But as we go, as the whole world goes moving forward collectively, they're all going to run right into themselves, like every single one of them, whether they accept it or whether they don't accept it. Because right now with the light, it's creating a mirror reflection for everybody, because there's too much light here, right? And so a lot of things that are coming where a lot of people want to blame other people and blame, it's not gonna keep going that way, right? Because the structures are being taken down. So the old victimizer, savior, that triangle pyramid, wheel, whatever, it's a pyramid, that's just going to be knocked down. And so when you have to stand up for what you believe in, right, and you need grab a little bit of that dark and snarl at somebody, then go ahead and do it. That doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. What is religion's number one offense? I don't know if whatever word. Guilt. 100% guilt. Christianity, guilt and shame. The whole thing. It's horrifying way to make people believe in things, Excuse me. Get some water. I'm starting to sweat. What are you guys saying? But I wanted to talk about like the concept of ascending in the light and the concept of ascending in the dark. Okay. I need another one. I do not like this metal. Taste metal. I gotta go buy. I left my glass one at the Jiffy Lube, and I got my brakes done. So I don't have my water bottle. Hey, Con, nice to see you, man. Hope everything's going good. I see you doing stuff out there, man. Awesome on you. Whoop whoop. Oh yeah, Becca. Yo. Yeah, we got to talk about. Don't mistake kindness for weakness. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Facebook user. Yeah. Just like the ography, the pediography, and the Catholic religion. Yeah, it's everything. It's this whole place is sized up based on what is good or bad or better than, and then hence worse than, right? And that is a grotesque understanding of yin and yang and polarity and how it's supposed to act in harmony with each other. When you didn't get first place, right, you still have the honor of being the one who now gets to learn. And then, it's like, if you're first place, you might be there for a while, but you're always going to get beat, because everyone below you has you to teach them, to learn from, to get better than, to gauge themselves on, right? So it's the respect, high honors low and low honors high. It's not right, but we're not, so this is kind of what I wanted to say and why I say stage 2 is because it might be a while energetically until we all get there as like a collective, but it's starting. I mean, look at the truckers in Canada, so it's starting. Welcome to stage 2. We're not there yet, you know what I mean, but we'll see it as we move forward. But what's important is the idea of ascending, in light or in dark, right? So you can do it in either way. And this is what you won't hear about, right? And I'm sure we've all touched on this, at some point or whatever, but I really want to make this clear on this video, because there's polarity in, every dimension. Like physicality, for physical to exist, there has to be non-physical. Think about it. Roll it all the way back. Take it to the bank, all the way back home. Every piggy, even a little piggy, right? Because it's how it's part of creation, right? Like we don't need to, it's already proven by you looking at my hand or your hand, you know what I mean? And then looking over there and not seeing anything in between you and to the wall, nothing, something, right? And I've talked about that on the show. So it's the Wu Ji, the yin and yang, right? So the Wu Ji is the original primordial chi, ball of chi, or as some people say, the pool of, soul in the galactic central sun, blah, blah, blah. But even before the galactic central sun, it keeps going. I hate to say that to you guys, but not really, I just don't, again, I love talking about stuff, but I hate getting involved in dogma. So it's important to recognize that it's, what I mean? It's the story, and you're being played by what's good, what's not good, because it's your life and it's your choice. If somebody wants to, drink alcohol for the rest of their life, that's their choice. Is it light? Is it dark? Right? Okay, well, listen, when you're disconnecting from the consciousness of your own self, then you're prone to creating dark moments because you're not consciously aware. So it's not light. So there's a lot of beings out here who believe that they need to help us help the light by being dark. And so I kind of wanted to address that because they need to sit down with Michael too. The concept that that they're helping us, right, or helping the light to ascend by seeing that which we don't want. It's kind of arrogant, if you will. So there's a lot of beings that, like the Luciferian path, if you want to call it that, or the Satan worshipers and all of this stuff, and so if we need 51%, light, if you will, in order to ascend per the rules and regulations, then, these guys are going hard. They're going at it, like they need, everything, like, because I think for the negative, what did they say? I was reading it was the hidden hand. You guys might have seen the article. It was way back, and I was going over it again, and he's talking about that they need like 95% or something like that. And while I definitely respected the negative entity, honestly, he was just full of crap, and I love him with all my heart. But the concept that, so in the story, the way that it goes from him, and I'll catch you guys up. I don't know if you've ever read it, but essentially the story that they're told, and I don't know the whole thing, it's just what he disclosed, is that Yahweh, okay, was the Garden of Eden with us, Adam and Eve, or whatever have you. And essentially what was happening was nobody was really evolving. So this sector of the universe or whatever wasn't, it was just kind of like stalemate, just nothing, right? Nothing's going on. And so supposedly, according to this being, he says that there's a council of guardians of the galaxy, no pun intended, who are on Ganymede? No, not Ganymede. Which one? I'm forgetting which one now. Saturn? Might have just been Saturn. And I guess they're eighth dimensional and blah, blah, blah. And so the Luciferian, okay, the collective, the conscious collective, ascended essentially. So they were up to 6D and they were ready to go 7 and 8. And I guess they say that from 6 to 8, it's actually not very far, in comparison to getting up to 6. But after 8, according to them, they go, so now they're guardians, right? And then they go into like oneness and source. And, again, this is his whole story. And so essentially what he ended up saying was that Yahweh went to ask them for help, just to talk about ideas of like how to get the people to move forward a little faster. Okay. And so they came up with conflict, right? Adding something negative or whatever you would, right, in order to do this. Now, it wasn't necessarily what Yahweh wanted, according to the thing, but it was what was decreed, I guess, or something from the 8th dimensional ones, these guardians of the galaxy. And I guess the 6th dimensional Luciferian complex, if you will, that was ready to ascend, had the opportunity to do that or to go back down to Earth in order to help. Okay, so now we're getting caught up to the story of the negative side of things and their dogma. So they're going to say that by coming here and holding the people down and oppressing them, suppression, oppression, I want to say all the specific words and I'm not gonna, for obvious reasons, pick and choose as you will, that they're helping us move forward. Instead of books on ascension, instead of technology, like real tech, space technology, instead of incentive and things relaxing, like I find it very two-sided. And that's how I've seen all of these stories my entire growing up, this life, right? Everything is just the side of whoever's telling it, even me, right? I try to stay as objective as I can. But it's just another story, it's just another, they say, in between existence, when we release this mortal coil, we're all hanging out, we're all laughing, we're all having fun. And I believe that to an extent, but the concept that there's all this light and there's all this dark, it begs the question, why? Why? Because we had a time limit? Because it was too slow? So either way you look at it, so Yahweh didn't like that we were living in peace and Eden. He wanted us there, but he needed us to evolve faster. Okay, we needed to evolve faster. Okay, so free will? You know what I mean? So now supposedly free will was entered with the offer of the apple. And so essentially what happened with their rulings or their whatever was, with the help is they basically said, okay, well, we'll give them a choice and we'll see what they do. Right. And so the idea being that, Jesus didn't want us to touch anything. And that's what it was. So take us to the garden. He says, I'll be back. Don't touch anything. Right. Or whatever. Don't touch. And putting that one seed of something in our minds is, and then it went and it happened. And then And then I said, okay, so now we have just like, thousands of years of just like, I'm just like, because of an apple, yet we were on Eden, but nobody was eating apples on Eden, on no apples. So why were they there? The tree was just, what was it growing it from? Nobody had, it was pooping, obviously, because nobody was eating nothing. You know what I mean? Like it's very interesting. And so the whole thing then, even in that case, so then it was this guy who said don't eat nothing, and because I did, he damned me for all eternity. It's like, I'm so over all the stories, you guys. Like, it's weird. I don't even know what to talk about anymore on my show, because it's like, all I see now is everybody just talking about, like, it's like politics, it's like light, dark, how do you get to 5D? How do you not get to 5D? And it's just like, what is everybody doing still? It's like, we're still doing this, because for me, it's Groundhog's Day. I have to have lived like a lot of lives, like, or something. Like, come on, guys, right? But we got a whole world to just bring into the concept of, like, God forbid, Jesus, or Christianity isn't the, main religion, or, you know what I mean? Like, think of how far you've gone. And this is why I put this in there. Remember your trainings, right? And what do I mean by that, right? What do we mean by that? Thank you. He says, who is this? I don't know. They just pop in and it's really soft and subtle. I can barely hear them, but it hits me. And so I go, I don't even know what we're talking about right now. That's how I know it's them too. Because I'll get down and I'll be like, what were we saying? What were we saying? No, that was me. Oh, it was you? All right. It felt like it was me, but it wasn't. Okay. Your trainings. Thank you. Okay. Yes. Woo. And then it just, I'm not trying to think of it. It just, that's why when you're trying to remember stuff, you can't remember. What's the name of that one actress? What's that one thing? They were in that one movie. What's the name of the movie? What's that one song? And then you'll never remember it in your head, right? You got to step away and then they'll tell you, right? And they say them, it's your soul. Everything filters through your soul, right? Because it's the thing, it's the logos, right? So when you say, oh, it's my higher self. Well, who's your higher self? Well, me. Who are my guides? It's kind of like me, but it's other energies, other beings, other individualized conscious, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, if you can attach to it, then it's like you, that's your family. And again, words. Okay, words. We got to be careful. But very important. Very, 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 very important for helping everyone understand who's going to be coming into all this stuff. There's a lot. Can we go back, please? I know there was something. What we're doing? Training. Okay. Training. Remember your trainings. It's literally everything that you're going through. Right. And so we say that all the time. Why? How's this teaching me? Like, how's this helping? Right. Because we're your higher consciousness awareness, we see things that are even worse. We see even more things that are like bad, so we're like feeling bad more often, it's just, right? How is that helping the vibration? I thought I came here to help it. Why didn't you make me completely naive and oblivious and just happy all the time? There's a reason for that. There's a real reason for that. There's too many spiritual people out there who are just fancy, flighty. Oh, it's all going to be like flowers and rainbows and crystal. It's just like, yes, we will have these things, right? And I'm not saying we're not going into peace and prosperity for all of us, right? But the path, the getting there, the judgment, it's no, that's not. I always laugh because I say, at the end of my life, we're going to go and we're going to look at it and we're going to laugh my my head off. Like, just, I think we all will have all of our lives. Like, look how much we didn't know. It's just going to be nothing but hilarity, hopefully, for you, and not just like, embarrassment, because it's all of us. So sooner we get over it now, and the sooner we deal with it, and the sooner we face all the things now. It's like I say about the powers that be, man. They just need to come out and be like, yo, man, we're really sorry. Like, that's the best option they have. I hope they don't realize or think that, like, by continuing to lie and it just getting exposed is the better option, right? But they're too used to winning, or they're too used to being able to lie. Okay. Training. Jeez Louise, guys. I can't keep focused. No, I'm just kidding. I can hear him saying, like, training while I'm blabbing in the background. Okay. Let me see. All right. Shh. Yeah. They're saying, think of what it is that you've gone through in your life and why. Right? Look back. Hindsight's always 20/20. So look back and notice the certain points when you felt the most impact, good or bad. They want to say strongest, when you felt the strongest, but also when you felt the weakest, right? And understand the duality of the polarity, that in both situations you were extremely powerful. As a being that you are, you can change the room with a bad argument. You can mess up everyone else that's going to walk into this room for the next hour and a half, or however long it takes for enough people to come through and change up the frequency. You can set it off in that room and make it weird for everyone. And so they want to say it's all about, is there being careful with belief, right? Why are you being careful? I kind of know why. I feel like I know why. Because they're saying that, again, it's not what you believe, it's why you believe it. So if everybody is like, why do you want to be spiritual? Why do you want to do tarot cards? Why do you want to talk to spirit? Because do you think you can't? Because you always are. Do you want to do it because we feel like this is the love and the light and then this and this? The reality of the spiritual realm isn't just cupcakes and cookies and ice cream, and so that's why a lot of those people who have gone first, really through this, and it's such a big gap, and as we go along, the gap will get smaller and smaller and smaller. But they're saying, like, everything you've learned, it was precisely what you needed to learn, no matter if you believe it or not, no matter if it was right or wrong or whatever. Stop, or slow down, meditate, take stock of what what good, bad, anything, any situation in your life, and do your best to put a higher perspective on it, the full picture perspective, right? That's what it's always about. Hold on, I'm bringing my knees up. So it's your light and your dark is what makes you whole. It's not just your light. You know what I mean? God didn't, source, whatever, is not without shadow. I mean, the moment he created something else, it came with the shadow. It casts a shadow, right? Because now it's away from him, whatever, right? And so there's in between, and we might not see the shadow, but again, if he's light and that's there's going to be a shadow. Or if he was dark and then it was, so this whole thing that everybody, we have to get over good and bad. We just have to, but you have to get over that within yourself. And I know that that's a big thing. Like I say, there's a lot of people that are going to be coming into a lot of guilt, a lot of shame, a lot of, like religions do or whatever, even politics, or like some, fun, like not all fundraisers, but it's like a fundraiser, like, oh, you didn't donate and save the whales. Kind of person are you? It's like there's something for everybody out there, man. And that's why you just got to ignore it all. I think it's the best thing we can all do. And that's why I say throw it all out. Like there's a reason why I'm going to keep saying these same things over and over and over and over. Because as far as I've gotten on this journey and my levels of awareness, nothing sticks. Nothing. For me, nothing is stuck except for the truth, right? And what's the truth? There's love and there's hate. There's good, there's bad. There's and it's all an illusion, right? But it's also real-time existence in creation, right? And so the simple act of trying to figure that out is like, just forget about it. We're paying people scientists, thousands of dollars to figure stuff out that they're never going to figure out, and not like they're never, again, I'm being all or nothing, that's the back and forth like I do. It's more fun, like if I was just in the middle the whole time, well, there's some people who do this, but then there's also not some people, and I do that anything, right? I use it for dramatic effect, because I spend so much time in the middle. If I'm gonna go somewhere, I'm gonna go. Like what are we doing? Or don't, or I won't, and I'll stay home. You won't even know. I don't know what I'm talking about. There's just it's over and over and over again, guys. Like it's over and over. The only truth is to me, okay, at my level of awareness now on an everyday basis, is there's truth and there's not. And you can tell when somebody's giving you the truth or not, or whether they're saying it or not. And it's not like it's something that they have to give you, right? So we say, oh, why don't you be honest to me? Or why would you lie to me? Half of that was you believe in that. You know what I mean? Half of it every time. Sorry, just flat rate. We're not changing nothing. 50-50. Excuse me. And so it's more like Spirit says when they say the person is actually, lying to themselves. It's really not so much like your problem unless you went along with what they did and you believed it and then you lost all your money or something, whatever. But really it's them lying to themselves. And we live in a world where you can feel people doing that and you'll go anyways. Why? Because he got up, he was like, yo, party at this place, everybody, let's go. And then everybody went and you were just like, well, might as well just go because, I'm trying to go out too and have, it's like, but this guy doesn't own the place. It's not his house. You know what I mean? Or something like, what was that? What was that? I was just watching where he did that. Oh, Cobra Kai. The party scene. That was kind of funny. What are we saying? You guys got to help me out now. I feel like I'm floating without a paddle right now. I'm going to see what you guys are saying. You want to sum that up? They want to sum it up? No, we're just going to go. Okay. I'm going to see what you guys are saying. I think it'll cycle back around. You know how Spirit always does on my show. They're just going to flip it. And then it'll all make sense. And then I'll end the show with saying the same line I said in the beginning. My class, Jiffy Lube sounds like a country song. I love it. Oh my gosh. No, I'm late too. I slept. I woke up at 1:51 in the middle of the night last night. And I just stayed up for a couple hours. And then I went back to bed. So I got up a little later. Yeah, positive reinforcement works better. Yeah, their power over others is done here. Yeah, hey, Space Andrews here. Joanna, hi. How are you? Oh my gosh. Yeah, if it looks like it and smells like it, it is. Seriously. And that's what we were talking about. Thank you, Linda. See, you just kind of bring back there. Um, you know it. You can sense, right? Your level of awareness will develop to the point where the second somebody says something, you know they're lying, or you know that they're not, or they're telling the truth, right? And how do you know? Think of that feeling. Think of the difference when you ask a kid something, like a child, right? And it's just natural. And now imagine somebody asked you something, and you said the first thing that came to your heart, right? When it's usually the first answer, right? It's expansive, you're excited, you're sharing, you're talking about something, right? You're saying, like what'd you do yesterday? And you're just, oh my gosh, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this, right? Or you didn't do nothing, it was boring. And you go, well, I didn't really do much of this. I just kind of stayed around and I didn't, but that was good. I like it's peaceful. It's peaceful, like honesty. Honesty. Do you think creator cares more about you saying something that sounds cool or exciting, or you know what I mean? Like, or does it more about the honesty, right? Okay, so now why? Whose source? Source is you. Source is inside here. So guess who cares about honesty? You do, whether you are admitting it or not. And so wait, where are we going with that? I gotta step back. No, so it's you. I'm just saying the honesty. Okay. Shh. I want to explain a little bit about, so it's that feeling. Honesty because you know what it feels like when you're honest, right? And there's no restriction, there's no hesitation. It's you just say it, you're excited, you're not holding back, right? How many times, now ask yourself, right? Again, or a different question, how many times have you know, asked somebody something and they shut up and they get quiet and they go dark, right? Well, now you just forget it, walk away. That's what I've learned. Where and it doesn't matter if they whatever. And again, then you're at that place where it won't matter what anybody's saying, whether they're lying or they're telling the truth to you, because you already know, and you're not gonna give them all your money or something when they, when they're not. So it's literally like it's like it's all of those things. It's friendship. It's caring about people, friends, family, whatever. It doesn't everybody, all of us, it's all relationships. We're all in relationship with each other. It's in some way, or not at all. Like me and some random person living in a house down there, no relationship, but we're all connected because we all live and breathe on the same stuff, right? The same earth. But it's you step outside of it, right? And so I think what's really important right now for us is getting comfortable with being outside of it all, but also engaging in it properly with kindness and humbleness. And this is why these are key factors. This is our trainings, right? Remember the things that we went through in the beginning, all that, like I say, all the fancy love and light stuff, that we all go through in the beginning, because you're like, what's with this chit show all the time, man? Like, is there nothing going on? And then you're like, here's love and light over here. And you're like, oh, I'm going to read those books and learn all that stuff. And then you're like, you're full of it too. You're full of it and you're full of it, because both of y'all are just sitting here arguing like a bunch of siblings. I'm done with both of you guys. And well, that's a whole other story. That's what I'm working on putting together so it makes sense for people. It's going to be part of my, my overall course thingy, whatever. I don't know what I'm going to call it, but I got to do the Michael Rolla course, saying or whatever. So that's what I'm going to do. It's going to be fun, guys. It'll take you through a lot of different energies. Oh my God, let's go up. Did I finish that? Did I finish what I was going to say? I think so. It's me checking. I'm like asking the collective, and then it's like, then they come back. Yeah, they're good. They're gonna figure it out. No, but like I wanted to help. I don't want them to just go on another video after this and be like, I have no idea what he was saying. Box 2. Yeah, bots too. Oh, yeah, biochips to have contacts. Yeah, you're allowed to question and even say no thanks. Yep. Yeah, hit me with the light, but no thanks for chips. Yeah, really. No, nobody needs chips. That doesn't even make sense. Like it doesn't make sense to me. It never has. Oh my god, block this guy again. Hey, I'm finally getting trolls, man. I'm excited. I've been like 3 years I've been doing this. Finally getting trolls. So excited. Love you, G. Uh, hey, Naveed. Mega integration mode. Yeah, yeah. I know. That's why I wanted to talk about remember your trainings. Uh, and like I said, the denial phases, we're getting past the denial phase in the world, and they're all going to, we got to be nice. We got to be gentle. They need, think of how many times in your ascension lessons, paths, right? You just needed a hug or something, but there wasn't a single person. Well, perhaps, I mean, you get a hug, but like someone who actually like knows what you're thinking and saying and going through, god forbid, not thinking you're crazy. So yeah, and again, it'll be a lot easier, right? That's what they say, as we go it just gets easier and easier because they'll have all of us. But that's why I want to remind all of us, like, stay with your trainings. Like, you choose love, right? That's back to the story, the good and the bad. And how, and essentially he says that Yahweh got mad, um, and so because he didn't want, because he was convinced that the people would have believed in him and chose him, and they want to eat the apple, right, or whatever. So they ate the somebody ate the apple, and now so they stole the cookie from the cookie jar, and they're not saying now we all got to suffer and go to timeout. We all miss recess. So essentially, what happened though is he put a frequency field around the earth in order to prevent like anything his people from escaping, his people this and this. But then since the Luciferian sixth density ascended beings said that they wanted to help, well then they got stuck in that this low frequency too, with the frequency fence that had been put around because part of how to exist here. But he says that, I guess he was from a ancient family going back way beyond the beginning of time type stuff. He's saying how ancient, and they remember, some of them are allowed to remember certain things, and some of them just do because they don't, the way that the bloodlines and the way, and who's to say that we can't hop over to another planet, portal jump real quick, or take a spaceship 15 minutes and we're in hundreds of thousands of light years away planet, and we're gonna grow you up here, and then we'll send you to Earth. You know what I mean? Like, we have to really wrap our heads around this. Like, all this spiritual stuff we're learning, it ain't even half of the story, you guys. It ain't even half of the story. You know what I mean? And again, it is the story, and we're close, and we're knowing a lot of this. But it's like, how did that all start? How did that all? So a bunch of Dracos got dropped off here. By what? The taxi cab? By who? You know what I mean? Oh, they got dropped off in this area of the galaxy, and then since there was loving souls in this galaxy, but it was mostly underdeveloped, they just started taking it all over, and just like for millions of years, there's a huge story that they say is going to be really exciting to learn about. At least when they tell me that. I don't know if everybody's going to have the same reactions. And I don't think I'll get it any sooner than anybody will. But, we have to be careful of even that. Like, why do you want to know the truth? Why? Like, I've lived my whole life knowing these systems, the society, politics, and religion. It's all bullshit. Like, I've known it in my heart, like my soul. I can't help it. But you know how that sounds when you're saying that all the time, right? Like, well, clearly he's never going to make something of himself, and blah, 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 like this kind of person. You don't want someone like that to bring home to your dad, do you? Like whatever. He's a slacker, he doesn't believe in politics. It's like, no, because you're a bunch of retards. Sorry if I can say that word. See what I mean? Again, I'm not educated, so I have an excuse. Jeez Louise, right? So it's like it just goes so far beyond. I don't know. But I guess is that all I'm trying to say there? Okay. And that's why I say throw it out. Throw it out all the time. Anything you think anything you're learning right now, throw it out. So that you can just look at it. I'm not saying, right? It doesn't mean it's not real. It doesn't mean we don't incorporate it. It doesn't mean that it's not significant. It's like astrology, right? It's your codes. It's the pattern of the life that you're most likely to live, right? And you'll notice it's pretty close, so it's real. But the second you decide to limit yourself in that box, then you're done for. You're done for, I've been there, done that, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that guy. No, don't do that, That's not good. That doesn't feel good. To just drink a 6-pack and watch the game. It's like, all right, you can, but go exercise, go for a walk, do something else. Don't do that all the time, right? And so that's the concept. Like look at how we're all programmed to live a certain way and think and be and feel a certain way, and this is just how it is, and there's nothing we can do. Well, then how's it ever gonna change, guys? And you know that. So remember your training. To be a soul, right? The soul that you are. Got nothing to do with light and got nothing to do with dark. And then again, it has everything to do with both of them, like I always try and say. I'm trying not to make this confusing, right? But when you know that, that's the difference. Like people who understand what I'm saying, and people who don't. It's like it totally makes sense. Maybe not logically, necessarily, but if you know that, then understand that what it is that is it's out of this world almost, right? Because you can't explain it to anyone in the world. It's like, all right, I'm just being silly, but like you're already everything that you've always thought and wanted. And in order to manifest in the physical realm, right, we think like, oh, we have to do physical things. You have to work and you have to do this and you have to do that, right? Well, no, you can manifest it in the spiritual realm and then embody it and activate it within your body structure, within your surroundings, in the physical world, right? And then it just takes time in order to get all the energy, rounded up and focused and then pointed on the earth and to you in your little town, right? In your little area, you got to magnetize all the air, all the dirt, all the energy in order to allow what it is that you want in your life, right? When you see, it's like for me all the time, right? So seeing like how weird things are, and seeing how people act, and seeing how this is or seeing how that is, so I say that all the time, what I'm trying to think of something. I don't know. What was I saying? Oh, how guys are less stuff and women are more stuff. You know what I mean? Like, what do I want to say? How do I say it? I've already said the basic to it, and I'm trying to think how to say past. Let me say the basic again. It's not, it's just what you believe. I don't know what else to say. It's just what you believe. It's always what you believe. So if you, okay, come on, give me an example. If you see something, let's say you see, damn, I can't think of nothing right now. So this is the difference between like channeling and then like using your memory brain. Like it's like, anyways, like you see something that you don't like in a person, or whatever, or like, uh, whatever. And then, oh my gosh, I cannot think of this at all. Forget it. I need to move on to the next one. Like, is it you? It's you in your head the whole time that's saying that you don't like this person, and for whatever the reason is. So it's like, it's like I've been like that. It's like when we see something that is like scary, right? Or happy. It's like the mask, the happy mask and then the sad mask. Is it like the Japanese or the Chinese, or is that just circus? No, it's like geisha, right? Or whatever. I don't know what that is. The happy and sad mask. Isn't that just theater? I don't know. What do you feel the second you do that? That's real. That's real stuff. When you see that frown, right? You cringe. A little tiny piece of goes, or even if he's not having a good day, let's go give him a hug. Like it's you feel it instantly. So constantly while we're going around the world and we're seeing things, right? We're getting, how do we think about this? How do we think about that? Because the brain's processing it all the time. And then you're taking into your emotions, you're taking into your feelings. You have to go into your psychology. And we're at the psychological warfare, right? They don't need to fight us. They just need to convince us to kill ourselves, each other, right? So, what are we like? What are you doing? You know what I mean? It's defeating the demons inside of yourself. Right. And I say this because we're saying this because it's so important for the light, the spiritual community to keep progressing. See, now I know why we're talking about Yahweh. See what they do? I love these guys. I couldn't do this without you guys. Holy crap. Right. Shout out to spirit. Shout out to all the benevolent spirits that are here to help, whether they're helping or not, even as long as they think they are, you know what I mean? And that's what it really comes down to, because that's the polarity. So what is it? Every nice guy's just supposed to, because I'm love and light being, I'm supposed to allow for others to be who they are. I think I heard that in a post. They were saying, nobody will ever, or a video, nobody will ever agree on all the same stuff. You'll never find someone that will agree on every single thing like you do. Like out of the whole, like most things, sure, but we're all different. And then so I said, okay, right. So that's how we're going to come into unity then, because at some point, most of the time, nice people don't care about what somebody else thinks. Like, you know what I mean? Nice people are the nice ones. Like, oh, that's what you think. Okay, cool. See you later. Like we don't, or we'll keep talking, like I love different ideas, that enlivens all of us. It's like going somewhere new. We want different ideas, so it makes life fun. It's something new, even though you're an old soul, right? Get to experience it for new. So we all like new things, but it's thinking that, you guys know what I'm saying already. It's thinking too much that, it's one way or another. And in the spiritual community, it's very important that they keep going and not forget that it doesn't matter what level you think you're at. You still got ways to go. We all do. Everyone needs to know that deep down inside. You know what I mean? Like, you don't do what you want, but when people don't, that's when the arrogance, that's when the my way is the highway. That's why I don't like rules and outlines. And outlines are cool. I like to know general, but it's why I don't like writing everything down to a T, and I know there's totally people who do, and it's good on you guys. Like, I'm fascinated by you guys, but I feel like that's unright. It's you know what I mean? Life is organic. Life is changing. It's all the time. Every single one of you humans down there that's just creating these systems of this is how it is and this is how this is. And now that I know that and I proved it and I told a bunch of people, now I'm like famous and it's just like none of it makes any sense. We don't, it doesn't matter. It's like when I say, when this is, when this all comes out, they say how the light workers who came before, they're going to be the ones in the history books. I don't want to be in a history book, because to me, it's just going to limit people, you know what I'm saying? And what, in the limitation that we're already stuck in. It's like, I needed the books to help get me out of it, right? But once we're out of it, I mean, we're always going to be writing books, right? See what I mean? It's like it's all there, but it's not at the same time. I know. How does it hurt and it feels good at the same time? You guys know what I'm saying, right? So what is the point? Just do you, be you, shine your love, have a reason, have the passion, have the like, for any doubt that you could have, look at a guy like Arnold Schwarzenegger lifting this grand pianos full of molten lead in this third-story window in 30 seconds. What is that? What's his name? Brian Regan. He's doing the strongman competition. They lift those big boulders and they scream like really loud because they're in like real pain. He's like, put it down. Doesn't need to be up there. I'm sure. Like, I was just cracking up. Right? We're the fun, right? That's what the fun again is what we're all, right? Where it's a little random and it's a little, and we share, and this person clearly shared something that he was clueless on, and I'm going to go talk to him about it and we can help him. And then I shared something that I was clueless on, and then somebody taught me, but instead it's, where does that put you? And how smart are you? How much, and guys, it's how much value they can suck out of our energy. That's what it all is. It has everything to do with economics. Thank you. Economics, everything. It's all built. It's all baked into the cake. Even us going through this right now, even you guys watching this video, it's all part of the plan. You know what I mean? Like, what plan? Honestly, I can't stand it. Anytime it says a divine plan, I want to slap somebody. You know what I mean? Because I got a lot of things to talk about with somebody on that. But we are here doing it, and it is real time. And that's why it's happening this way. That's why it's taking slower. It's taking time. There's real people and real moves and real beings and people and beings and people and entities and magic and lasers. Okay, now I'm going Star Wars. Like, imagine it's all real. And this whole time, everyone else is just like checking in with the Kardashians. You know what I mean? It's why I find myself like with the small talk, I feel like it's just, I almost wish I could have a white picket fence, you know what I mean, lifestyle or something, but it's like, I don't like work. I don't like school. I don't like politics. I don't like nothing. You know what I mean? I can't stand none of the systems that people involve themselves in, but I like people, like on a one-on-one bit. Like, I really like, people. It's when we get in these groups and then we start serving sticky punch and then start dancing and tribal, no, those are the fun ones. I know, but I'm just saying, it's just, I don't know. It's interesting. And I think it's important that we all come to the realizations of what's actually going on, right? Because talking about spiritual stuff, I mean, getting over the initial human side of it, I mean, that's such a heavy thing for so many people to do. But when you recognize it, when you look at life and you walk through it and you understand that what these people are saying is for their ascension, whether they realize it or not, right? You become a facilitator. You become a light worker, you become a dark worker, you become if you're afraid of anything, you're not ready. You know what I mean? If you're not going to go into the dark, but you have to learn what that's like. Well, hey guys, welcome to Earth. All right. Right. So don't worry so much about what you're going through and this and that and the other. It's recognizing that you are the magician and you are transmuting and you are doing this just when you do the simple things in life for yourself. Just when oh, I'll never have that, or oh, that looks ugly, or whatever. And again, if that's your natural reaction, that's fine. Okay. But leave it to religion to condemn you for anything you feel. You know what I mean? Like when it was all programmed into you, anyways, and then written to mess up your brain. So you think it's okay to feel. But in every single moment, you have the opportunity to change that, you know, and the little things are important, right? And it might not have a huge impact outside in the world, but it's going to have an impact on you, right? It's going to change you, and hopefully every moment like that for you moving forward. That's the goal. That's why the little things are important to pay attention to. That's why waking up and saying a positive affirmation so that you start the day off in a positive momentum is like so important. But again, we grow up in this world where literally it's all about popularity, right? Like school, I don't know, public school. I went to public school. It's about like who's the cutest, who's the prettiest, who's the smartest, who's the best at the sports. And then if you're smart, you're a nerd. If you're sports, you're a jock. If you're pretty or cute, you're, I don't know, Abercrombie, your fashion or whatever, and it's like, just wear the t-shirt. You know what I mean? I don't wear Abercrombie because I'm cool like James Dean, and I don't think James Dean would wear Abercrombie if James Dean was here. I think he'd be more like a Gap person myself. You know what I'm saying? Like everything we've been taught, it's all pointless. It's all stupid. Like, it's not like it's not stupid. Like we can be having fun with it all. Like, oh my gosh, I love the idea of playing, like dressing up, costumes, acting like you're Superman, right? Like a kid. Did you shut that totally down inside you? There's not a piece of you that wants to, shoot fireballs out of your hands. You know what I mean? Like, because that's cool. That's cool no matter who you are. You know what I mean? Like, jocks want to shoot fireballs out of their hands too. I'm pretty sure they would, So would the nerd. I know. So would the fashionista. Burn that dress on fire. Okay. I mean, we would all, and why? Because these are elements. These are things we all are. We are all these things. You are all the zodiac signs. You are all of this. You're just to varying degrees. And that's why, like stuff like that. Like you're like I say, people don't even know what their zodiac signs are, and they're trying to say they know themselves, and don't get me wrong, you don't need it to know. But once you start getting into these things and how it really works, you're going to realize that you've already known how it really works because it's been who you are this whole time, and everything that you're being told is wrong is something that someone else is trying to put you in a box for. And this goes on every level, right? It goes on the level of medical industry, which is going down now, baby, as the narrative fades, and as all this newer stronger light actually comes in. It's gonna frizz a lot of people out, though. You know what I mean? So that's why I say it's still, stage 2 where we're gonna see the anger, because now with the truth coming out and the denial fading, people are gonna start getting mad, and hopefully they won't. I honestly don't feel like they will get that mad, but we're probably gonna have a riot or two. Yeah, I mean, I think that was in the language. Shout out Cliff High. He's got that linguistics program. I think he mentioned that. And it's spot on every time. It's usually off by time, dates or whatever, but it all comes to fruition. So hopefully, because with the denial, right, for so long, think about that. People who have like been Republican and Democrat and whatever like that is in their hearts, and people just need to realize, put it down. It doesn't need to be up there, Arnold. Fill these grand pianos full of molten lead, throw them in the third-story window in 30 seconds or less. Trophy goes to the winner. Yeah, and so like understanding time, understanding that you're right on time, and any moment that you leave being right on time, the second you realize that you're right on time again, you're back on time. This is why this can be confusing for some, okay? It's because everything you think becomes reality. So it's like, time doesn't exist. Yeah, I know. What time is it right now? It was like 8:05. Now it's 8:00. Okay, now it changed. Now it changed again. Now it changed again, right? Time is the one thing that you cannot, that what is George Carlin? He does the joke. He says, do you know what time it is? Do you know though? Do you really know? Right? The second you look down and you look up and you tell him now it's 3 seconds later, and he says time is something that it's on the way. There's a moment coming. Wait for it. Keep waiting. It's almost here. Not yet. Okay, now it's here, now it goes, and now it's gone. Okay, damn, I missed it. I forget how I did it. I was cracking up. And so this idea of like everything, you guys, everything, like just be in your love all the time. Like, doesn't matter, right? For all the justification for anything bad in this world, right? No, the world's like this, Mr. Grumpy Gus, versus just being like, well, how do I want to feel? What do I want to create? If you don't, right, what can I do to do that? Because the spiritual community is going to get caught in the same type of stuff that humans have been caught in, where we're waiting for something else. And I like to tease spirit all the time. I was teasing them yesterday. I was saying like, oh yeah, we can just create whatever we want. Sure. Okay. Say it easy. I know. We just got to think about it. Okay. Never mind all the energy that's here now that's allowing us to do so. But no. Like 20 years ago, I could have done the same thing. I know, because I'm the creator. I know. That's what I mean. We're co-creators. But I'm waiting for you. But you waiting for me? It's divine timing. Okay, so what are we doing? Right? You know what I mean? Like, so there's so many layers, it doesn't, it's like, it's it's real life. It's happening now. The only time is the now, in the present. And whatever you did in the past, you got to let it go, I guess, right? Whatever happened in the past, whatever past 10, 20 years, the 80s, the 90s, whatever, they were thicker times, right? They were, but I've said this before, I'll say it again. If at the end of, if I get to the end of the finish line a little before some others, and then you guys get there and you're like, dude, I'm so sorry, I was a dick, or whatever, right? As soon as you say that, I'm gonna like, you're forgiven, bro. Like, don't worry about it. If you say it and you say it with that honesty, where I heard you say it and it came straight from your heart, and then if you do it again, one strike, that's it. You just said, you know what I mean? We're not going back into lack of consciousness no more, right? And that's what a huge part of this is too, is with the time, is we're constantly going to places in time. We can argue, we can always say, oh, it was March 27th, blah, 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 this time and that time. And then why is it happening again? And why is it, and clearly it's a different time. And it's like, but no, it's really the same time period. It's the same, because you could be 10 years older, but if you still have that wound, inner child wound, right? every time that comes up, it's going to be the same people, places, things, right? Actors, actresses, situation. So now, just right now, with all the power in creation, like choose what you're going to do. And don't worry about the outside stuff, the little stuff. That's the trap, right? And I find it funny because sometimes we get sad, and so and then people say, well, go get distracted, and it's like, no, 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 we don't want. I don't want to be distracted, right? Wait. No, because I sat there watching that movie, and halfway through it, I was like, I was over it, and I needed to do something else for my soul. Well, where can my soul go? I don't know. Let's go for a walk again. Yeah, sure, why not? Feels great every time. Okay, let's go. It's just, so don't worry about like, what, because we think of that all the time, what it is we're doing or what it is, like blah blah blah. And if you focus on inside, right? Like I was, when I get like that, when I'm like, I got a lot of energy, I want to do stuff, and I work out, right? Or if I'm meditating and I'm trying to learn to control, if I'm controlling my body and I'm sent, then it's literally I take all that energy and into the importance that you create on this earth for the best that you could possibly do. Like we don't recognize how important it is. We don't recognize how important you are, how important, um, how impactful you are just for being here, and just making those shifts in your own consciousness, because then it allows the shift for everyone else. It literally, you can free yourself. That doesn't mean like, because and that's the thing too. So we live in a world where we want to do like this or we want to do that or we want to, so the idea of free stuff and free this and or like, well, I can't be free, I can't just go anywhere when I want to go, like obviously I'm not free, but then it's like that's not exactly how it works and what the freedom is that you're seeking. It's like I traveled the world only to find my way back home. Such is the soul's journey also, right? So it's recognizing that the levels, the reason when I see people in the spiritual community hashing over things or talking about this or that, I recognize right away similarities because patterns, I'm always patterns, and I'll see the same thing in humans. What not like they're not human too, right? Because we all are. But as spiritual pathers, okay, we have to maintain that awareness, that knowing, that level where you're like, okay, there's a reason I'm still here, or there's a reason why I have this and not that stuff. There's a reason for everything. And it's all set up perfectly for you because right now, in your own skin, are you comfortable? Yeah, right? Because it's you. Everything extending out from your toroidal fields coming in, it's all you. And you're comfortable and you're right. So the importance cannot be overstated. The importance to stay on your path, stay in your light. And what I was saying earlier, like when there's stuff all the time and I'm meditating, that's what I forgot. I knew I was forgetting something there. And when I'm meditating, like I'll just be telling myself, like, forget about it. Like I have all this energy and I'll just be like, no, Michael, sit down and shut your trap. You know what I mean? And then I just, and it's, it's funny because that's what's going on in my head, where I'm talking, I'm like, what about, okay, I'm sorry. What about this thought over? Okay, shut up. Okay, shut up. I'm shutting up, and because it'll happen anyway. Like if you were like, if I go to work and I'm working all day, and I come home, I don't just, instantly meditate and I'm just like totally quiet, like, but it's easy to get there the more you practice that. So, and this is why we're saying getting there, get to the place where you understand what it is, what you're doing, whatever it is for you, whatever it is, that place of objective, objective observation, whatever, and stay there. and know who you are, know why you're there, know what you're doing, right? And stop playing out these things on the inside of your human because you're crying out for attention. Where did that come from? Excuse me. That comes from a lot of people. That comes from the impetus as children and even adults to talk and to go out and to play and to do things like this, to make connections with each other, to right. And so knowing our connection with source, how we're all connected at all times, to come here and then not be able to express that, and how we're totally separated, and there's differences of opinion, right? Because like you guys said, not everybody down here is going to think the same way. Okay, well, guess what? I don't, and I'm putting them all in timeout, and I'm not feeling bad for it anymore, right? Is the takeaway from there. But going back to, it's be honest, right? And you don't have anything to worry about. You talk to your boss, you talk to your business partners or your colleagues at work, or or whoever, your friends or your family, right? And just say it all with all the passion that you've ever had in your life. You know what I mean? And when they try to say something or whatever, just start crying and then make them feel bad. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like, it's playing the game. It's just a game, and we're all here to play. And it's unfortunate that in the forgetting that it's a game, so many people get triggered, more and more, or all the time, or just, we forget, and then we allow ourselves to get triggered, because it's okay to be triggered. I mean, literally, the fact that this place was suffering triggered, well, since they saw it in the future, they realized in the future that tyranny was back happening, and they came back and pinpointed it back to Earth. Oh, thanks. Now you guys come, but everything is because of something, and everything triggers someone else. So there's a lot of these catchphrase words in the spiritual community that really just got to go. But I like it because it's starting to happen. But don't get caught up. It's so important to just throw it all out, because it's you. The only spirituality that's out there for real is you, your spirituality. That's it. Because yours is the same as mine. Just because we don't think of it in the same way, it's still the same place, it's still the same source. It might be different codes, it might be different angles, and right, because we don't all think the same. All right, but the only spirituality that needs to be out anywhere is you. It's all you. The only politics, you. Right, but we're not able to express that, and that's why we challenge ourselves constantly. Right, you're right 100% of the time, because it doesn't matter if you don't know something, right? Like, okay, and if you had to guess and then you got it wrong, that's not like, as long as you're not making it up in your own mind, that's why you say, like, be true and honest. If you're saying it from the heart, you don't ever have to have anything to worry about, but if you're convincing yourself, you're only lying to yourself, right? See, back again. Nice. These guys are epic. And this is why, like, I got to keep talking half the time. Like, if I stop and then try to listen, I mean, that works too. But, especially when I have a question, I got to listen for it, But it's like, the more I talk, blabby. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're in Ottawa, huh? Or up by Canada, G, huh? Shout out to you. Naveed says, with regards to giving away the dog, the pregnant stray dog, yeah, she took the dog's puppies and euthanized them. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I just didn't get a good vibe from that person. It's okay. They'll be okay. It's all part of the plan. Uh, oh, so not just, um, okay. Yeah. Yeah, well, she's got a lot. There's a lot of black magic around her, though, because of her organization. But that's just a bad place to be in. Like, you don't want to be in a gang. I hate to break it to you guys. It's like you want to be in the Sunshine Gang. That's the gang, the Sunshine Bus Gang who come into town. Yeah. Um, yeah. Good idea, Linda. Right. Right, right. Because yeah, and I like that you said the karma. Yeah, exactly. That's such an important one too. Like um, karma. Yeah, exactly. It's like everyone out there trying to be like my twin flame or my this or my soulmate or my karmic person, right? And it's just like it's just up to you. Like, you know, everybody's so bad on every side, whether we're spiritual, whether whatever, again, whether we know, what we think we know, we're all just, it's still the same patterns that we're playing out. We have to see the patterns. If you're just going like, and what I'm saying, okay, I didn't even explain it. I said it in my head and I didn't even say it to you guys, is the idea of the soulmate, where it's like, we just in the beginning, and I mean when you're for a lot of people, and that's because we're used to how it is in the human world. So we're like, we want the pill that's going to make it all better, or we want the check in the mail that's going to be gazillions of dollars, or we want, you know or we want the soulmate, right, who's going to be the perfect match, and this and like, yeah, sure, I think we all should, we all deserve to find our perfect match that's good for both people involved, right? Like you can make each other see me happy. Ooh. Yeah, so take a sip. Let me do that again. um but it's like one of the patterns, right, that I see, that the disconnect in the pattern is we all want to be the Superman, right? But then we're like, I'm not as happy unless I have Superwoman or something, right? So by the same respect, and even human stuff, it's the same pattern that we're playing out, that the spiritual community just keeps playing out. And that's the one thing the one guy said in the hidden hand, this guy, talking about his from these family bloodlines and 60 Luciferian complex, um, was that, like, they're schooled, their family, they're schooled in all of that stuff. They don't go to school like we go to school for math and English and gym class. They go to school and they learn all the main things. They learn science, philosophy, spirituality, mechanics, like they learn like all the real stuff, and the main thing. And so he was a spiritual, um, focused type of dude, but they learn them all. And so, just reading that alone, thinking, we have to recognize, the higher dimensional negatives have been the ones in control this whole time. So what if this whole spiritual ascension path, right? It's like when I told my mom, I think it was my mom, and I said ascension or something, or I don't know if it was mom. Somebody said something one time to me, and they were just like, "Oh, I've been hearing about that for decades." Oh, the ascension, the ascension, the ascension, right? And so then, what did I do? Okay, now let's go. Let's go. Fuel for the fire. So now I got to figure out what this means, And so then again, it was just so stepping back and then seeing the patterns and going like, okay, well, it's not like it's not ascension. That's just a word that we picked to describe it because it means to go up. So that's why we picked that word. Right. But like, it's also the same as anything, getting too caught up in, like I say, getting too detailed, getting too, this is the way it is, and this is, and this is a simple fact of that in the first place, is that we're here to become conscious creators, like truly, like I said, we all want to be God mode or Superman, and that's what I meant. Like, we all are here to embody our full and complete soulness, whatever you want to call it, and but then we flux capacitor between that and then feeling like we're totally like not, because we still have some ways to go. I can't shoot fireballs yet. I keep trying to say, like, I want the petition on the fireball shooting. I want to learn it first, and I want to teach courses so we can do it safely. Like, I thought we were supposed to be having so much fun, Spirit. Where's all the fun? And then it's like, well, meditate. So then it's like, okay, well, when I meditate, I have all this fun, but then now I got to go to work again. So when can I stop going? Right? When can we? So, and then it comes into like spiritual. Oh, you're asking people for readings, for donation. It's like, yeah, like, you know what I mean? They're trying to hijack everything that ever been said, that's ever been done in the history of everything, you guys. Like, no more. That's why I'm saying throw it all out. But that's, again, this is just my, the way I do it. So if it resonates, it'll work. I can help. Right? Like, if it resonates, you want to try it, give me a holler and we'll chat. But I think these things are important because, like, personally, on a personal level, because I, like, since I was 3, and it's just like how do you look at your kindergarten teacher? I don't know if it was kindergarten. I think it was 4th grade. I'm not going to say the name because that's just mean. I'm not going to call them out. How do you look at them and go like, you're full of shit? You know what I mean? I would love that baby. Oh my God, I would love to see that baby do his thing. I would love when you're in, like, you're like not even, you're barely 10 years old, and then you got to look at your teachers and go, you guys are totally full of shit, man. You guys don't see it. And then not having any way to really articulate it, because I'm not that old enough, and I haven't had many debates in my life and went toe to toe with older, more fully developed brain. It's just like, but that's why I know. I can see how full of it you are, right? So, like, do you even really want to develop your brain? I don't even know. Maybe it's a trap. Because ever since it got developed, right? Like I was good as a baby. I don't know what happened. I think the reason why we don't have the joy and the wonder like we used to is because we're developed now. It's because we kind of know it. We're not just going like, oh, what is this, my hand? Like, but it doesn't mean there's no joy or wonder. I know. It's just funny. But, like, oh my gosh, the talking, the coming together, the people getting over it, it goes so far beyond like high school stuff or college or, cool and famous and, and that's why I say all the time when I got out of high school, I couldn't wait to get out of high school. Be like, man, I can't wait, get out of this place, some real people, get into the real world. And it's just a bunch of adults that are still stuck in high school or whatever grade that emotionally trapped them in. Most of all, right? Most first loves are in high school, right? I think public school, that's probably almost safe to say, like above average or whatever. So where's everybody trapped? High school. Still all in high school. Whatever. And that's okay, or you got out of high school and you became really successful and you used your high school. And so now it's a definition about you that you know what I mean? Like it's all coming from somewhere at some point. And that's why until you throw it all out and really reset yourself, right? It's supposed to be a great reset, guys. We need to be resetting ourselves. Do you know how? That's a serious question. There's a lot of things out there. Sorry, I keep shaking. I'm leaning my legs on this thing. there's a lot of different things to learn out there. And it's like all the different arts, they all work, whether you do Chen Tai Chi or Yang style Tai Chi, or, it doesn't, there's so many. And as long as you focus on them and you learn, because when you master something, you know how it works. And what makes you a master is that you can change the variables in order to produce a different outcome. So it means you've mastered something, you know how it's going to work. And you know how, when you master any art form, right, you now are, it's not magic anymore, right? Merlin, right? What's magic to Merlin but a skill, an ability? Okay, so now that you know, now you can look at everything else in life, or whatever else in life, and then you can apply the principles and the understandings. I mean, this is science, right? This is, but doing it on a spiritual level, right? Doing it on a, like bigger than a human level, bigger than tinkering with toys level, keep going and going and going and going. That's why, like, the first thing that I realized, or that I love really, with the God ideas, who created God and who created that God and who created this God. And, if you do it that way, well, then everybody just keeps rolling up, rolling up, rolling up. And nobody's ever, we're never going to figure it out, because it just keeps going and going and going. And that's later, when I studied the Tao, that's what the Tao explains, is it's infinite and eternal. And the more you talk about it, the further away from it you get. Right. And so the only thing one can do is experience it. We can't be God. You know what I mean? You can only experience that level. Right. But to be it, you'd have to be not who you are right now. Like, you'd have to let go of everything. Forget about aliens, forget about universes, forget about atoms, like, forget about everything. Because within your focus intention in any one area, you're there. That's where you are. You can't, right? So literally anybody out there saying that we're gods, like, you're God. I mean, we're gods. All we are is just masters, or not, or maybe even say masters. All we are is just skilled or not skilled. That's all that it really comes down to. But we live in the world of fancy and movies and Hollywood, right? So everything's got to be epic. I am a queen. Why? Kings and queens suck. Why do you want to be a queen? You know what I mean? Mental. It's all mental. You know what I mean? I mean, and hey, if you like saying the word, it makes you feel good about yourself. Number one, I would ask you why. Because that's the truth of the matter. And number two, you know what I mean? Anybody yelling they have to be a queen just means that you're coming from a place where clearly you haven't been able to feel like you are. You know what I mean? So what's actually going on, boo? And let's actually talk and get to the bottom of what's really going on. And if this is just a self-esteem thing, well, then you can develop that on yourself, on your own, and yourself. You don't have to tell anybody you're a queen. That's weird to me. That whole queen thing, ever since I first heard queen, it tripped me out. But again, I support it. Go for it. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. It's queen energy. Again, why is that important? Because we need to beat the kings. I know that's what it is. Where does it really come from? Mm-hmm. So but we got to talk about all this stuff. We got to get this stuff out there. We got to be. But if you're stuck in trying to be the queen, that's when it gets lost. And that's why, like, for me, that's why I'm too much for people, a lot of people, because people, a lot of times they say, like, why do you have to think about all of it? Like, why do you, and I don't know. It's fascinating to me. It's literally evolution. And it's the most fascinating things we could ever be talking about. Honestly, you telling me about your trip to wherever you went, you know what I mean? Like, and again, I say it all the time. I want to know because I want whatever I want to talk. Like I'm always on both sides. Like I can see, right? So, but it's so where is that sweet spot? What am I trying to describe? I'm trying to describe, right, the fact that it's all just illusionary. It's all based on what we decide if we want to make it fun or sad or happy or sad. How you want to look at somebody? Oh, like look, that was embarrassing for him. Or you could be like, oh, that was embarrassing, but I'm gonna go help them out, and I'm gonna, because I feel either you're empathic and you feel their embarrassment, you want to go help, or you're not, and you're like, oh my god, that was embarrassing. I don't even want to go by that person, and put my empath. I don't want to feel that at all, right? And so it's like once we like get over the what happened to them and who they're doing and how you're feeling, and you just go, whoa, that was crazy. Whatever the hell happened. And then you just go about your life. We're always programming ourselves to believe something or to, you know what I mean? Because of the brain. The brain is processing, so it's going to do that whether you want it to or not, which is why it's, the importance of like not watching too much TV or not watching too much bad stuff. Okay, that's not my car. It's like we have to be having that fun again. And why? Because then that's that level of higher vibration, dimension, whatever, densities, where we're now able to listen to heavy metal and not have to lower our vibration and go Judas Priest. What was it? Judas Priest got sued, or it was Black Sabbath or something, because some kid listened to it and then he, went and, did something bad. So it's just like, are you the heavy metal and you're letting yourself be told who you are because what, you know what I mean? Or are you just like, rock on today? It's like, yeah, I got some rage and yeah, I want to punch stuff and I want to go blow something up. Yeah, but I don't want anybody to get hurt. That's okay. Right. So now what do? We associate it with punching stuff and blowing stuff up. But really what is happening? You just have energy. Right. And then how many times do we think, oh yeah, I'm going to go draw some flowers. You know what I mean? No. Why? Because it's not a match. So like attracts like, yeah, like, yeah, right. Like attracts like, no, it doesn't. I'm sorry. You guys are kissing my butt, right? You have to change it. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. That totally made no sense. I don't even want to explain that. Just ignore it, right? Because yes, like does attract like I don't even want to get into that. Because it does. But then, clearly if everything we ever were is what we attracted to us, is I think we all should just be here. I think we're all supposed to be here and not having fun, because I don't know how that's supposed to work. How are we supposed to be high vibrational, go to low vibration where it's a low vibration, but we're supposed to bring the high vibration? Like I said before, thank you for sending the high vibrations from space. I don't know why I didn't start doing this 20 years ago, because it wasn't here. Yeah, this place needs the vibration, but it's like, and then so it's us or it's you, it's right. And that's the only real way to infiltrate, so it's the constant forgiving and moving forward and loving yourself and loving other people all the time, and realizing that that's the most important thing that you could do at all the time, no matter where you're at in life, no matter if you feel like you're going to be late, you're missing something, you're not going to get there in time, you have to do this, you have to do that. Just stop. Right. And smile. That's it. Smile. Cause what do you know? You know that it's all way bigger than you can even, than you're probably even worried about in that moment, Okay, cool. I think that's good. I think that's good. That was a good stopping point, but I don't ever need to stop. Yeah. The takers will take what the leavers leave. That's it. That's why it's like so important to who you are. Yep. It's all tones, your tones. Thanks. Oh yeah, I could use a hug. That's for sure. I'm just usually by I'm just by myself for the most part out here. So, and I'm a physical, you know, hugs. So I miss hugs, that's for sure. Um, so me and Spirit hug, and I always give him crap because it's not even close. You know, the unconditional love you'll feel from Spirit. Yeah, I know. We could use that. Anyways, yeah, it's great. It's inside me. You can feel us all hugging you. No, I really can. It's nothing. It's not even close to the same. I feel the love, but that's not even close to the same thing. It's like, you know, like we have physical vessels. Are we ever going to be able to nurture these things? No. Why? Because if I talk to people about stuff like this, it gets weird. So, like, how much longer until like does any like are we we're fixing this place, right? Okay, cool. All right, cool. I'm just double checking, making sure, you know. I don't because we can't, and that's the big thing. We can't know the plan, guys. You can't. If I knew the plan, I'd have told you guys already a million times. I'd have spoiled it. I would have ruined the whole thing. Don't tell me no secrets, you know, especially about certain things. Like if it's something personal over you, you know, I ain't gonna tell nobody. That's you know, and you need to confide in somebody. I'm not like that kind of person. But if I found out, like, oh my God, put all your money into Bitcoin, I would be yelling at everybody that they should do something. Um, let's see. Good flip and flea dip. Yeah, yeah, you got to do that. Yeah, light and dark, light and dark. Hey, Trace B. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know if you've been. I don't remember you, Trace. Hey, Tracy, is it E? Oh my God. You know what? I don't like laptops and these little like mouse things. Like I want to. It actually came with a separate mouse, but I don't have a desk right here, so I would just be floating in here. Because two fingers pressed it and it started like scrolling. Always does that. Time is abundance. Time is abundance. Time is the one. Time is the one thing we got that's more valuable than anything else. Uh-oh, there's mom. You okay? Question mark. Answer me. Yeah, no, that makes me want to do the exact opposite, mom. I try to tell her who I am, you know, and how I work, but she's mom. What are you gonna do? Hey. Moms, shout out to you mamas. All the mamas. Um, y'all are amazing. Not just mom, just the feminine. Did you guys ever read that Tesla thing or something? There was an article on Tesla where it said that he never took a wife or like barely a girlfriend or something because the way he just saw women, he was just like, there's no man that deserves a single woman like on earth. Like men are like creating war and we're like weapons of destruction and we're always like, you know, trying to like everything. And he's like, and women are just like, with the friends, with the community, with the kids, with the like, he's like, they're just so amazing or whatever, you know, that it's like, what man ever deserves that? I was just like, no kidding. I was like, that's a really good take on a way of looking at it, you know. But again, this is all about perspectives, and we're all here to have the best lives that we can possibly have, right? So, whatever your perspective is, I hope that you love it, right? It's not what you believe, it's why you believe it. Why do you want to believe it? Why do you have to believe it? Why do you think you have to believe it? Oh, 12 Yo, you know we got codes, son. Angelfish. We are the codes. All of us have codes. Hey, consciousness awake. Hey, Mike. It's like somebody I know named Michael. How you doing? Hey, Marjorie. How you doing? Hope everything's good. I hope you guys are doing good. The energies are crazy. Hey, Anita. Love you, love you. Coding glasses for our own guys. That would be so cool. Oh my gosh. King Julian, that's me. That's me. Yay. I'm so glad you gave me King Julian. The title of King Julian. Without the king, okay? Right? I can't be a ninja if everybody sees me. You know what I mean? That doesn't, and that's what I wanted to talk about too. A lot of this light work, dark work, right? Me and my posse, you guys who are all here, most of you guys, whatever, we're all ninjas. That's why, because there's a part of me that like wants to be samurai instead and just go everything and then be done at the end. Chink. And then like everybody's dead. Okay. Peace on earth. Let's go, baby. Bring in the party. Here we go. Now we're good. We got all, look at this, all the politicians. It's all the, like whatever. There's a really big part of me, right? That I always say, like, I want to be the guy who just like blows this all up. But at the same time, that's not how this is going to work. So we have to be infiltrators in these ninjas. And like I say, I just talk about this stuff so that, it's like who poisoned it, like, so did I poison your drink or did I poison mine with you thinking that I poisoned yours, so you're going to switch with me? Or did you think that I poisoned mine because you would think that I would think that, so then you would think, right, blah, 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 right? And that's my sweet spot. I go through that place like this. It's probably right. And so that's why I want to talk about light work and dark work, right? It might not be seen as a very light thing to do, but I think I mentioned on the video when I was, or on the video where I said I'm never going to use this to manipulate, and I literally said it to myself walking down the hallway in junior high, passing up the gym doors. I remember walking past and I like looked over and then I kind of looked back down and I had this thought, no idea why, no idea. I was like the only one walking down there, so I didn't see anybody else. Nothing like even happened to make me think of this, but I did have that thought pop into my head where it was like I was recognizing that I'm seeing these patterns, and I didn't even call them patterns then, but it's a sensation. I can't explain it. Like I just felt it. And then the thought popped into my head. And then I said, I'm never going to use this to manipulate people. But then when you look at the world and you look at everything, literally language itself is used to manipulate people. Like the limitations of words that we have, or how read is the same as read, is to say, like, we have so many words, and it's all, what does that teach you? It's up to you. It's up to you. You can say whatever you want, right? Now, most people won't understand because we're all taught a certain language, right? But light language, light language is who you are. Right now, my face is light language, because it's made of light. And it's expressing something, everybody's faces, everything. Princess Bride, yes, of course, that's what I was doing, right? We got Monty Python and we got Princess Bride. Yo, we're doing a oh my god, I can't think right now. You know what I want to say? A feature. We're doing Mel Brooks. We are weird. Yes, keep shining all of your lights. Own it. Yeah, thanks, Tracy. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah. But that's what people have to understand too, is, like the level, like that it's a war going on right now. We're at war, right? Like this isn't, I've been saying this for, we've been saying this for a while, like, or like I say, like, but most people want to watch the Kardashian show, and that's fine. Like I say, it's funny. Like, you're too stressed out, you need to go get a distraction. Okay, let me just put my mind on something that's totally irrelevant for a little while, and it makes you feel better, right? Centers you, you feel better, because now you know everything you saw, you can just throw it out, you don't have to care about it, right? And so you're not stressed out. Your body is allowed to open up and relax, and actually hopefully watch something enjoyable, take something in enjoyable, go for a walk, whatever. But as we're all coming from this world, it's just like it's not promoted. So that's why we need to promote it. Why isn't it here? Why isn't it coming in the mail tomorrow? Why isn't it easy like this? Why, that instant gratification? How come? It's like television. When I was a kid growing up, there was less channels, and now there's more channels, but there's less to watch. Like, the quality of TV, and I mean, there's still some good ones out there. I'm not, trash on the whole thing, but, music. I could remember music and finding bands I liked and then going like, where did this go? Like, we were on trajectories like punk rock, and, rock and roll, all this. And then I literally skipped to 23. I move out to California, and my cousin's listening to all the heavy metal, new age, screamo stuff. And as soon as I hear it, I'm like, there it is. That's like, it was a totally different generation, and it was a gap, and then that's why all of this stuff, it's like, you should make the music yourself, because you're probably before your time. A lot of the people in the spiritual, what we download, what we get, things like this, right? And then of course they scream too much, and I was not used to that, and that took definitely some getting used to. But the technical playing, the guitars, the drums, it was so good. And the reason I'm saying this is because that's what you guys have to do. That's what you have to be. Right? Like, we're not here to do what they're telling us to do or wait for what they're going to hand out to us. Right? It's not the case. I mean, that's like all of humanity in the first place altogether now. All in the family. And I just want you guys to know how awesome you are. That's all this really is. Like, I want you guys to realize like how much I love you guys. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, knowing that you guys are here and like all of us, whether it's YouTube, whether it's, and then that brings you into even more, like imagine all the people that you don't know. Like, imagine the people right now that are within 10 miles, 5-mile radius of your house. There's probably a number of people that would understand, what I mean? Stuff like this. The only thing is, it's not mainstream. So while the whole world is getting prepped, and this is why everything they're going to do is backfiring on them, right? If you force people to live in the most difficult situations, you know what I mean? Like for thousands of years, you think you're going to beat them at war when it's time to go to war? Sure, they got the stuff, right? But I've had nothing. Like, you know what I mean? And who's going to survive? Once you run out of your stuff, I'm still going to be here. Like, it's everything they're doing, the negative, what we're learning, it's preparing us. And that just kind of goes, it's, and that's a big tell for me, is that this isn't going to get easier yet. Right? And then it depends on who you are and what you're doing. And I don't want to get into the specifics on that, because we can do that forever. I would love to. But yeah, like, because I like to mess with spirit all the time too. Like, what did I need to learn on Earth that I couldn't learn just by watching one episode of Life on Earth? You know what I mean? Like, I and then you think, well, what are we learning? Well, I'm definitely learning I'm definitely programming myself for something, for a perspective within a perspective, for, you know what I mean, for all of it, you know. And then you realize you're one of the billions, zillions, whatever, of God's creation, and you're just one unique, you know, and it's all amazing. And then you realize it's all a miracle again. You know, if we're gonna be in the human life, it's not gonna be fun. Doesn't mean it can't be. You know, and then the spiritual is gonna be the same thing. Why? Because we're still in both worlds. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is the worlds are always here, but we're still having strong, you know, visceral, you know, differences, you know, or whatever, like, you know, getting all our full powers on. Well, not here yet. Okay, but I'm ready. But my consciousness knows, and I know it, and I'm there. I'm ready to be there, but I'm still not there. Okay, I got to ground, right? Working out. You have to do this. You have to ground the light into you. We can't just, you know, I mean, they're helping like crazy because they're just sending it to us much as they can, redirecting it, reversing the polarity, trying to do everything that they can, the real stuff, you know, and you're part of that real stuff. You're just as real as they are. But we have to allow it, and we have to be it. And you have to allow yourself. How do you allow free flow of energy and chi through your entire body? You don't give a crap on anything else, right? It's like, you know, it's like, okay, so it's like being polarity, right? It's like the Mr. Strongman, you know, and then versus, let's say, like you wake up and you're out of sorts, you feel low on energy, blah, 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 right? What's the difference? You know, what is stopping you from turning into Arnold, right? It's up to you. You can change literally the way you look at your entire life. Now imagine you're sitting there at home, whatever. Now imagine Arnold's at home with you. What do you think he'd be doing? You think he'd be like sitting there on the couch going like, or I don't know, whatever, like you say, low energy, high energy. He'd probably be like, okay, I think it's time to go throw some pianos and, you know, whatever. That's my best Arnold for right now. You know, like it's, you know, people who are lit all the time, testosterone over, you know, burning off their adrenaline, guys like that, you know what I mean? like I'm always Libra, so like I see them both, you know. So for me, I have to engage in the, you know, what do you do? Why is that fun to do? What is the point of going out anywhere to experience something new and different or similar and whatever? And what makes it that way is the passion and the belief in whatever it is anybody is doing, no matter what it is, right? It's like when you see somebody say something that's totally ridiculous, you know, and you want to laugh, but they're serious, right? Okay, okay. So now you gotta meet them on their level. You don't want to laugh at them because you realize that they're going through something serious. So now you just went through this whole ordeal and moment with this person that was totally different than anything that you, right? But you can, and you guys, anybody can do that. You know what I mean? Like it's like, you know, and it's a kind of a bad example, but it's like playing the drum set. You know, like I love drums, right? But, you know, now I'm in an apartment. It's, you know, I don't play it. So, you know, I took it out the one time and it was so loud. It's a electric one supposed to be for apartments, you know. But my neighbor, she's like banging on the wall. And then I talked to her the one day and I was like, did you hear me doing that? You know, and, you know, whack, 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 you know, because it's electronic. So there's really no sound. So while I'm in here, I'm like, yeah, that sounds right. Okay, turn tweet. Okay, yeah, ting, 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 you know, and then it sounds great in my head. And then, but on the outside, like you take them off, it's the same sound over and over. Whack, 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 whack. Like there's no, just sticks hitting this thing. So poor lady, but you know, so the example is like, do what you want. You can go do, like, why don't you sing? You know what I mean? Like right now, like everybody wants to sing, you know, but everybody's embarrassed about how they sound. Style, okay. You know, we're never going to find our soul songs if we're always embarrassed about somebody else singing. So I love my cousin. Shout out my cousin. You know, when I come out here, they're the one in the band, you know, all their heavy metal. he'd be mowing the lawn, you know, like, and so then I'd just be, you know, in the house or something, or and then he'd have his earbuds on and he'd be singing at the top of his lungs. So every now and then you just hear, you know, the lawnmower, and then, you know, and then it goes off and it's quieter, like random. Just it was hilarious, and I loved that about him. I was like, see, this is why you guys are my family, because like you're just living life. You know, you're not offending nobody. You know, it's too funny. Excuse me. And that's how we got to be. Now, again, the reason it's a bad example, I mean, if you have neighbors, you don't want to just be yelling, but I swear I get my moments where I can't not do it and I got to put something on and I start singing downstairs. And I love my neighbors for allowing me to do that. But I get to a point where I got to belt something. Like I can't not. And so, you know, just try to do it during the day. But those are the things, you know, like in any moment, it's like boredom. I've said before, people are bored, and like, yeah, I get it. I get the feeling. You know, I get the sensation. I get where it comes from. You can see it, but anytime that happens, you just say, "No, I'm going to meditate." You say, "No." If no, then that means I need to do nothing right now, and I need to stop myself from feeling like I need to be doing something. That's what's happening to all of us, right? That's why I say shout out to the ladies, because you guys are feeling so many things so many times that you're like, I had to do that. I had to. It's like, no, you don't have to do that. You know, like right as you know, it's that time of the month. Okay, you get a pass for that. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean be mean. You know, like what I think I compared it to guys too. There's grumpy guys who are permanently grumpy. We're talking about once a month. Your man is grumpy every single day, stressed out from work, coming home. His team ain't winning every time he's watching the game. So, you know, so he's actually not really enjoying the game as much as he might think he is, you know, like because he's not really checking in how he's feeling. That stuff's so important. You know, why you think what you think and what you know, getting ahead of ourselves, getting emotional, getting triggered. It's okay to get triggered. It's okay. Right. But when you decide, it's why I notice, like, so with the ladies, is you change your minds, or women, I don't know what I want, you know, and this is because you're letting your emotions tell you who you are. You're letting your, you know, and again, that's what they're there for. We're supposed to use them like that, right? But don't do it as a victim. You do it as the conscious creator, right? Who's aware of the plane of existence that his human lives on and being aware, right? That's why we, like I say, I don't like books, but I love them and we need them, right? Like, I actually love like fantasy novels. I was thinking about that. I read the Mistborn series, and then The Way of Kings by Brian Sanderson. Yo, those were so good. But my favorite of all time, you guys, I'm telling you, what is his name? Patrick Rothfuss, The Name of the Wind. It's the greatest books you'll ever read. Best fantasy ever. He's about a boy who's in a troop and they travel, him and his family, and then he wants to go to the academy to learn magic. It's freaking amazing. Best story ever. Keep going. I got sidetracked. And I wanted to get sidetracked because I said to myself, I'm going to remember what I was saying. So let's talk about books. Oh, yeah, because I don't like books and we write it down. Yeah. Because we got to remember who we are, what we are. Right, exactly. And when we do, we have the proper perspective. You know, stop, you know, doing, I don't know, doing things, thinking things that make you just, I don't know, think not good stuff. I don't know, right? You know, just stop it. As soon as the negative comes, stop it. And if you can't stop it, well, you need to be getting upset with why you can't stop it so that you can summon the energy to face it, to get rid of it, you know, instead of just coming home and watching the game and drinking the six, you know, that like that's what we do as people, right? We cope, if you will, or we find you know, whatever ways of, or even like you come home every day and your dad's always yelling or something, right? Like you find a way to cope. So you find a place to go to, you know, and then we act like these are, and they might work for situations, but now you're staying there all the time because you've developed this as your cozy space, but nothing else is allowed to get in, and not everyone out there is, yelling or something like that, right? So it's like, so we do that. Oh, I had a tough day at work. I need a six pack in the game, and oh, we just had those drama at your mom's house. Leave me alone. I'm getting a six pack. I'm gonna watch the game, right? And then you wonder why your wife's always like, well, how come you always drinking six packs and watching the game, Um, and then a lot of times guys, they'll defend it and they won't even just go, yeah, I am. You're right. Like, you know what I mean? We're so saving face. Like we can never be wrong because it's embarrassing. There's so many layers of things that people do not face. Truly, right? And take it from me, even when you do, they're still embarrassed. It doesn't, even when you take the brunt of all of it, right? I'm a Pisces moon, right? So that's kind of what I do. Like, I'm here to help everybody, and I'll put myself out there in front of everyone to be the example so y'all don't make the same dumbass mistake, right? But I'll do it knowing what's about to happen, so hopefully I can protect myself and I got my exit plan. You know what I mean? And because I don't worry about the embarrassment, I feel it, sure, right? But it's like literally that's what's tough in life, is like literally getting real energy, real feelings, real emotions hitting you, visceral, feeling it, right? Crying, being mad, like really going through it, and then it's all just an illusion anyways. So I don't even know why you're upset. I don't even know why I'm upset right now. None of this is even real, even though I just chopped my pinky off. It's not even real, but it hurts so bad. You be like this, like this. It hurts so bad. I don't know what happened. It's not even real. It's just energy, right? And that's when, okay, that disconnect from like, oh, just, ignorance is bliss, leave me alone, I'll, and everything's fine, and and it's just like, no, 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 spirit's always here. They're always knocking on your door. It's you knocking on your door, right? It's, you don't care about television as much as you think you do, what I mean, or whatever. You gotta use TV. These are the examples or something. I didn't want to shout out on the name. I'm always picking on her and her show, and I got love for them because they're doing their thing. Uh, yeah, baby talk goo goo is our sacred light language. Exactly, yo. I love it. That's it, man. That's totally what it is. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the narrative is crumbling for sure. Get to the job, boy. Yeah, dude. Oh my god. And that's the thing, we need to set those codes, right? We need to be the ones saying, I mean, in all of us, it's as many of us as you can, but we need to be the ones saying, no, this is how it's going to happen. Why? Because I'm going to create the energetic availability for it to go down this way, right? Instead of, oh, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. No, 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 no. And this was great for me. Just a little validation, you know what I mean? Which I think in our line of work, it's very nice when we can get that, because we really don't get it like that often, like trying to predict stuff all the time. And it's like, if we did that all the time, we'd be wrong a lot more than we would be right. So like now in these times, it's great. Even though it sucks, right, that it's all happening. But again, we knew it was coming. But for example, the one thing was about the requirements of this for workers in the US and something or whatever. Was there somebody else somewhere else? Was Australia too that they tried to do it, and it basically got shot down. I spent all the energy I could on that one, you guys. Right? And I know I didn't. I don't feel like it's not exhausted, but when I first got that coming, and I was talking to some of you guys, I might have mentioned on the show. I mean, I was letting you guys know I might not even be able to. Everything might be changing, and there was something about that moment, though, or that time where spirit would just keep saying, what do you want to happen? What do you want to happen? What timeline? What do you want to happen? And I was like, just shut the shit down, stupid. Like, that's all I was saying. And at some point, I think I knew that it was already going to happen because I stopped worrying about it all. And I think it was a good lesson anyways, because stop worrying, period, is that lesson in your life where it doesn't really matter, if it happens, it's supposed to. But that's also not choosing to use your creatorship abilities and stay connected. So if you want to learn how to do that, it doesn't mean you're going to change everything that happens. It doesn't mean that even if it didn't change that you did it wrong. You still could have done it totally right. It just wasn't supposed to in the whatever. And so now what is the lesson? It's not for you to cry about. It's for you to, pull up your pants, your big boy pants on, right? And just say, all right, hey, it's part of the deal. Now, it would be nice if we could get like, oh no, this is why it was part of because there's more going on, right? I, for one, don't really like all of the mind fog or the forgetting everything. But like I said, I'd probably spoil the surprise if I do anything else. So, but it's really important. Again, another example, like it's like being attached or joking about it, right? It's how do we feel? It's not about, it's affecting us. Yes, we know, but nobody cares. It's all an illusion. All right. So kiss my ass, guys. And I mean it with love, okay? Because, it's just so, okay, so we're good, right? That's why I say the spirit all the time. At the end of every conversation I have, so we're good? Okay. And I always say like a question because they expect me to know what? To know what? How I feel? Okay, yeah, I got it. Now what? We gonna save something over here? We got the cure for cancer. We've had it for 100 years. We're gonna let it out. Do I have to do that for you? Is there somewhere I can go? Can I hack in? Jeez Louise, what do you need from us? Right? And then that's why, it's not everything, right? Not everything. You just need to do what you can do, what you're here to do, because that's all you're here to do. And that's all, and a lot of people too, once you awaken, now you've already done your human time. You've already gone through your human. So now the reason why it's complicated is because you're trying to not be, but you still are. So, it's like, just keep going. And there's always more, But none of this, like, we're here to help you ascend by being negative. Like, you can bite me, dude. Eat my shorts, dude. Like, seriously. Like, you're here to teach us what we want by showing us what we don't want, so that we can go get what we want and live in a world of so why don't we just have what we want? Like, could imagine. So that means that, like, everything bad that happens to you, it's like, okay, if there was the opposite, right? Where's the world of nothing but peace and love and light, where everybody's happy and everybody's having a great time? And then there's that one guy or whatever who's walking around going like, you guys need to be a little more negative up in here, okay? I am the yin within the yang, okay? You guys are like way too happy, and you need to follow me so that you can ascend into the higher realms, because I know the truth. You know what I mean? Like, where, at what point is all that just full of shit? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how else to put it. You know, it's like, instead of us just having the thing that we wanted and then realizing like, oh, maybe it's not what I really wanted. Instead, we need to give you the worst thing that's totally opposite of it, right? And cause all this negativity and drama so that you'll know that you don't want negativity and drama, right? How many years does it take to realize we don't want that anymore? Generations. There's people praying every single, I've said this before, right? There's people every night in the world praying for like a better life. Like, and that means all sorts of things to all different people, but I'm pretty sure that the majority is love. Like, most people are not praying for not love. You know what I mean? Like, there's, say, most people in the majority. So it's like, I don't, this whole thing, right? I'm not listening to no spirit tell me nothing unless we're in a conversation. If you can't sit down, talk to me, if you sit down and you're like, I will be addressed as I'm out. Okay, see you later. Like, that's the last thing I'm trying to do here, have a conversation with you, but I got to be like, you will address me as Mike, not Michael. Like, does anybody else want to do like anything else? Anybody else? Is anybody else here? Why am I stuck in this room with this guy? You know what I mean? Like what is going on? And then to say that there's rules and there's laws and there's yeah. We know all about, what did we come to Earth for? To learn. Well, what did we learn about? Yeah, on Earth. Okay, right. And so that's another tip for you guys. What you're learning here on Earth does translate into the other dimensions also. Homie, don't play that on Earth. Homie, don't play that and all 12 dimensions until you go to 13 and then you start all over again. And why is it like that? Because it's an octave. We've talked about octaves before. Hey, Facebook user. Oh, wait, I gotta get rid of this guy. Yo, I'm getting trolls, son. They must know I'm talking about stuff. Right, octaves. So 7, and then the 8th is the next octave, but there's 12 overtones. 12 overtones. So the next octave starts on number 8 and number 13. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 7, and then you start with A again. So on 8, and then on the overtones are the sharps and the flats, so A sharp, B, A flat, B sharp, B flat. So there's 12 overtones if you count them all. Because essentially a B sharp is the same as an A flat. So there's 12, right? And then you start on the next octave, right? So what's the next octave? So if you do chakras, right, 1 through 7, and then what's the 8th? Starts the non-physical chakra, or well, not non-physical, but not inside the body chakras, right? So it's, now you're supporting your body from space, right? Now you're on the root of your heightened awareness of all that you've understood through your whole entire body, 7 chakras. Now you're on, now you have to start from the lowest level of the non-physical, you guys know what I'm saying. I'm trying to explain too much. Yeah, 12 universal laws. Exactly. Yep. That's totally. Oh yeah, I was watching that too. Some of those are annoying too. I'm gonna have to go through those and give you guys my 2 cents on all the laws, because some of that's yeah. Like if we were universal laws, I think things would be happening way differently. Like, the idea of, well, what's the one for sure is the law of consistency or something, where it's like the energy keeps moving forward for your people. So it's like, but in our world, we don't tell our kids the stuff from the past. You know what I mean? Like, we're not telling, we're not really evolving in that way or whatever. I don't know if was that just Andromedans do? Is that one of the 12 consistency? I forget all the words. There's vibration, there's resonance, there's like, it's the law of one, it's the law of, what is it? Compensation, right? There's all of those ones. Soul star chakra. Yeah, is that what the eighth one's called? Soul star. And then it's Earth star is 9, I think. Right? It's 1 and then there's like one down below first, and then there's like 3 of them up here, like 8, 9, and 10 or something, or 9, 10, 11, and then 12. And then that's my sound for lasers. Yeah, that's good call, Linda. Yeah, the problem with those laws is the enforcement behind the scenes and in between the mind wipes. Yeah, hence the appearance of no justice and in fact the lack of justices. Yeah, Earth and Soul Star. Yeah. That's exactly it. So it's tough because it's definitely like a different. They're being manipulated. So yeah, the laws are the laws, but and that's where I come in at, and why I like doing this work, where I have to, like I say, street kid from Chicago, like I just want to call BS on everybody, when I see it. And that's important because on this earth, yeah, like we would love for this earth to be abiding by the universal laws, but it's not. And, or whatever, because of all the manipulation. So, I love you guys, spirit, and all your universal laws, but you kiss my butt. I don't really care. Like, until that happens down here, you're going to make me responsible for it in a place that it's not happening. And all we want is it to happen, but I guess we don't want it enough. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't, like law of compensation. Yeah. I sign the contract, I go to work, and then they pay me. Like, that's the only law of compensation we have down here, And again, that's not true because, a lot of people have shown on not only true, but, a lot of people who have given themselves to the spiritual path, and to God, their souls, and, they'll always be provided for, and so we always are. But it's not in the way that we're taught as humans to think. So it's not like, oh, I gave all my love. Where's my mansion? Or whatever. It's like, that's why it's not working right, is because we need to relearn what all these energies are and what they mean and how they really interact with each other, like 5 phases, creation, destruction cycle, which I'll be doing more on for you guys, right? I want to let it all out as like one whole program. You know what I mean? Like the whole thing. So it's going to take a while. But yeah, like it's right. And just as the concept of, being limited, erasing our minds, all of this, and what you expect us to like know what to do. It's just like, no. And that's the beauty of it. They don't. You don't. You're sold. Like, no, you're not expected. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like the memes. We sent them 15 synchronicities, 10 downloads, and 5, whatever's. $20 says he does none of them. Whatever. It goes around. Like, it's not expected, really, in such a heavy. The harder you go, the less expectation that you're going to survive, So it's like, don't worry about yourself so much, and that's the biggest takeaway of it all. Because how do you, to walk away from this life as if it just didn't even matter, or something to that effect, right? Like, but then you're like, no, it totally does matter. Yeah, but if you made a mistake, and then it totally matters to you, and you're just like hung up on that, because you put the answer on the test and then you changed it and you got caught in class and then you had detention and you got all that. And that's when you got in trouble and then you got grounded. And then if that's all you can keep thinking about and that's so real to you, but then it wasn't like it didn't happen. So are we uniting or are we uniting? Are we going to unite the humans? Say, yes, this is happening for us. Sure, we might not get what the rest of the universe is doing, but we don't even know what we're doing down here. Does anybody want to help? And so then it's like it works both ways, guys. It's all good. Right? Like I said, so we're good? We're good. Okay, cool. I was just checking. It didn't feel like it. I got a little worried right there for a second, but we're good? Yeah, we're good. Okay. Why? Because Spirit says we're good. Because no matter what happens, what is everybody worried about? What is the worst thing that could happen to you? You die, and then what? You're going to be back with your family and your soul and your this and your that, right? But now, if you have a family on Earth, it's tragic, right? So it's like to be that which we're trying to be here. I mean, so we're good? Okay. See, and then I'm done because I can't go any further. That's why I use that. So we're good? Okay. Right? I'm doing good. You doing good? You guys up there doing good? Don't give me this, we're a higher dimension, so we're always good kind of crap. No, clearly you're not. Because what is all of this stuff that's going on? Don't tell me you're not raiding bases. Don't tell me that you're just thrilled that the same way I am, that people can't understand and therefore they must fight and so we must lose lives in order to, they're just like, they got to do it too. They got to ignore it or whatever. They got to be like, no. Like again, it's the murderer thinking that he's righteous for doing it, So who is and when are you? Right? It's not cut and dry, man. It's not. Even for God. Even for judgment. I'm a Libra. Double Libra. Pisces moon. I am your judge. Trust me. I don't want to be it, right? But I see the damn patterns left and right, and I just go, no. And it's like, but I don't ever presume to have the audacity that I could ever tell you that for yourself. It's not my role. It's not my job, right? But it's like, we gotta keep reminding ourselves something, right? We gotta keep reminding yourself, and that's why it's crucial. Eating healthy, drinking healthy, getting rest, because when you don't, you're frizzed out. Period. Doesn't matter. You're frizzed out. Even if you don't do anything bad, but I don't know. like you drink coffee still, right? And that's all you do. Let's say you eat salads, you work out, right? But you like to have coffee, or something like that. Well, that's fine. But we put it in our heads like it's a pattern, and then we got to keep doing it in order to make me feel better and to feel happy. And then so we keep doing it. And the reality is your body doesn't need it. There's a point where it just doesn't need it. You know what I mean? Like where it's good to just clear it out and clear yourself out. So if we are not doing this constantly, chakra clearing constantly, you guys, like constantly, that's why meditation and all that stuff always works. You might not think you need to, you might not think, but if you do it, no matter when, you're going to feel better afterwards 100% of the time, because that's how much stuff we're constantly getting, bombarded with, and however you want to say, like it's unconscious to you half the time. Right. So learning to be conscious means like literally being the God itself, judging or not judging yourself, right? And not according to anybody, right? It's the whole thing. Yeah. So what? So according to their story, right? Yahweh, he got jealous or he got upset because we did pick the choice to eat the apple, and then he didn't want the catalysts like the negatives wanted, but they did it anyways. And so it's like literally all of this is just, it's you recognizing your godhood, right? Or your, and again, I mean, that's the word we have to use is God. So I don't even like the word anymore because it's just to me, it just describes dumb. It's just dumb. Anybody trying to be God or play God, or they don't get it. They don't get it that they already are, right? The fact that they have to try, they don't get it. But that doesn't mean that we all aren't a part of that, right? What does God mean? Does God mean everything, and owns everything and rules everything, right? We got to get away from this king and queen shit. I'm telling you guys, no, God, that doesn't mean anything. It could literally mean nothing. What if you're the God of laziness, right? You're the God of boredom. What are you doing? Nothing. Okay. So we're good? Yeah, we're good. Does everybody keep bothering me, man? I'm trying to be alone. It's not about gods and all this shit. It's the whole thing is the story. Like I said, they've been writing this for thousands of years. They wrote the Bible 2,000 years ago. It's all stories, and it's all made up with words and with peoples and all this stuff. And at the end of the day, it's just the energy. It's just the energy. And the best thing is knowing what energy you resonate with, right? Because we don't live in a world where we have all the energies readily available, right? It's only been recently that we've been able to get some of these on here. So that's the path. Constantly walking towards the sun, right? Or what do they say? Sun at your back, or the wind at your back and the sun. Yeah, whatever. But whatever your light is. It's weird that there's so many depictions and so many, and I learned that with the Taoism and the Tai Chi, it's the myriad things, the 10,000 things, 1 + 1 it make 3. And the 3 leads to the 10,000 things because 3 makes everything. So it's like, we're just getting caught up. We're getting caught up on every level. Every level. Don't justify it. Don't try to justify it. Just don't. Trust me. From the judge. Don't judge. Right? What kind of judge would I be if I was not saying not to judge? Okay, there's one. We got Archangel. Seraphim. Seraphiel. We got Seraphiel. Shout out. What I say? We got to do some Hispanic cards because I was watching Peace Dealer and he said for Taurus, he said Torres. So I said, yes. And it needs to be like a Mexican dude with a hat, with a sombrero on. Oh my God. Could you manage? So like for, Libra could be Libra or Libro, which is like a book. And I don't know, just like Pisces could be Pisces, el Pisces, like the pieces of the scale on the fish, Like, oh my God, I was dying laughing. Let me see. It's like Torres. You need to. I was dying. Okay, here we go. So it's not Seraphina. Wow. I got Seraphim. Seraphiel. Tune into the divine will and open to higher illumination. Yes. Let's see. Is a 12th dimensional angel who shimmers with many colors, predominantly blue, and is considered to carry a masculine energy, though in truth his masculine and feminine aspects are in perfect equilibrium. As the frequency on Earth rises, he's able to illuminate us and pour downloads of golden blue light containing information, knowledge, and wisdom into our minds. His light automatically brings healing on every level. He can also dramatically open individuals' heart chakras by sending a finger of his light to touch them. The people and communities Seraphiel is influencing are starting to experience pure happiness and inner peace in a way that no one has since the golden era of Atlantis. Are you experiencing peace and happiness? Oh, as you experience peace and happiness, you start to nurture and care for our planet and are able to access the divine blueprint of Earth. Yeah, that sounds about right. Pretty much everything I was just talking about. What I'm taking away from it is yeah, I guess I just read it all. The guidance. When he comes to you, he is inviting you to step up your light. Imagine what your life would be like if you opened your heart completely, then act as if it is fully open. When you do so, Seraphiel will bring you inner peace, happiness, healing, abundance, and love. Expand your heart and receive his illumination. This card is also a card for you to tune into your higher self and listen to the divine will. Then do whatever needs to be done to harmonize with the divine blueprint for your life. When you do this, your life will be enriched beyond your wildest imaginations. All the help you need is pouring into you now. Yes. Awesome. I totally love this guy too. Yeah. I feel like this dude. Totally agree. Golden and blue. Yeah. But I use a lot of white. And I think that's because we need to purify this place. So I think I'll always use white light. Colors are emotional. Colors only if you need colors. Other than that, white or gold or clear. Clear is a good one, which takes a while to kind of develop because there's nothing to see. So that's kind of fun. Jesus. Yeah, Jesus. Yes. Oh my gosh. That one's fun. Archon Bouncers is all. I am abundance. That's it. Yep. All right, cool. I'm gonna do Shaman's Dream. We got 3 cards. We do 3 every time. This one we're doing the Shaman's Dream because we're coming out of the delusion. Or the collective is. So what do they need to know? What do we need to know? 12 Pisces. Yes, exactly. Zodiacs. El Jesus. Yeah, we can do it right. El Piscidian. Oh, see. We could. It'd be fun. Then I said we got to do a movie. We got to do an Ascension movie. I want to play the dumb guy. I think that'd be fun. Like I want to play the fool. The guy who's always like, Spirit said we could warp through walls. And so I'll run right into the wall. What did you do? Spirit says we can vibrate through the walls. I want to be that guy. Like, okay, we did everything you said. And now I got a nosebleed. That's okay. No one cares about you or your nose. I know. It's all an illusion. So glad I can help. This is why Spirit. This is why I'm just like, I love it because the truth is the truth, and it's all love, and it's all, But don't try and tell me about how this works because, it's like clearly if it did, or if it does work this way, well, it's not working so hot. I think we need to change a couple things. It's just like Spirit is not celebrities. I think people need to realize that. But let's see. Ooh, are we coming out of the dream? You don't want me to pull a dreamer card? No, we need a dream. This whole thing's a dream. What do you mean? We're all sacred dreamers, dreaming the world into being. What is the dream moving forward? That was like a drop. I totally slipped them. I'm going to read them anyways. Let's go. Because I was asking you then, and you get on this. You know what? Okay, fine. Fine. I'm reading. Fine. Overflow, overwhelm, and plenty. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. Need more light workers and dark workers. I'm just teasing. 43. And then we got, what's this one? The crossing, invitation. Oh, now you're inviting me? Oh, okay. I thought that's where I came from. Why I got to keep finding bridges when I'm already got here. Weirdos. Oh, there it is. Vanishing mirror. Did I not say mirrors? Ego sublimation. Yep. That's what's going to be happening for the world. Because a lot of people who are saying, get that, are not realizing that they shouldn't have got that. So there's going to have to be a lot of ego assassinations. And that's my favorite thing to do. Just how do you do that nicely? Overflow, overwhelm, and plenty. Let's read it. There it is. And that's pretty self-explanatory. Too much. So many good things are headed your way or are already occurring in your life right now, yet you may be thinking they're not possible or you're not worthy of them. Abundance is everyone's natural state before we project our restrictions on it. Defining what it means, who has it, who gets it, and so forth. Right now, take yourself out of your conditioning and look at your life through the eyes of plenty. There is so much beauty and love, opportunities and divine synchronicities destined to support your dreams and are lined up for you. Yet it's sometimes difficult to discern it all because you're bombarded with too much information and stimulation, distracting you from the truth that all is well. Sometimes, right, we're good. See, time. Sometimes all this overflow can be overwhelming and you may find yourself responding with empathy overload. Empathy overload occurs when you tune into the collective angst and fear about impending changes and uncertainties. It's unmanageable. You feel like you're drowning in those emotions. It's time to allow yourself to detach, bring yourself back to your life, restore your faith in a power greater than you. Yes. And remind yourself to focus on your smaller personal universe, right? Which is much easier to manage. Yes. In this way, you know that you are a conduit for life's blessings and can share them with others, making this perception of overflow profoundly positive. Yay. No, that was really good. Turn inward when you got too much going on. And that's what it is. Like I say, why? Why do you want to do? Why do you want to do? Why do you feel this way? And 9 times out of 10, it's just because what we're paying attention to. And for whatever the reason why we're paying attention to it doesn't matter. It's the fact that we're paying attention to it. But then you got to ask yourself why you keep paying attention to it. And it really is. It's like habits. You know, people who are addicted to things, addictions. You know, it's like George Carlin, I think he said the best. He said, you know, there comes a point when you're doing it too much and it's not beneficial for you anymore. It's just not. But you keep lying to yourself. Or what is it with like drugs? Then you need more of it, and then you need more of it, and then you need more of it, and you can never stop to even know what it's like to stop and be centered again. And then feel good and have natural flowing energy that comes from nowhere because you're not needing it from out there. You're not, I need this. No. You need none of that. You need this all day, right? All day. Like, it's why I always say, you know, I'm sitting outside for hours. All the stuff in life to do. I mean, it's unending. Right? And where's the one place I want to hang out? Where I don't have to do anything, right? I think that's all of us, right? We all want to go wherever we can go, where we don't have to worry about doing anything anymore. Or, you know, not worry, but, you know, like we want to do stuff, going places, but, you know, not. So it's fun. Hold on. Crossing. Okay, I dropped the book. You have come to stand on one side of the river. The opposite bank leads into the darkness of the eternal cave. The darkness of the eternal cave. Okay, I guess that's this way. Where the old dies and is born again. This is a place where time is forgotten and the seasons cease their dance and stand still as if in a temporary repose. You must cross the river now. honoring and respecting this transition, for it's time to say goodbye to your old ways of navigating your world. Don't be afraid. You've come to the edge of the river because you're ready. You're ready to let go of what doesn't serve you in all ways, and all the ways in which you've kept yourself from truly living. Intimacy requires vulnerability and truth. Can you strip away the masks and the barriers of false strength to discover what you're really made of? Step in the boat waiting for you. Let it carry you onto the wave. Okay, this is after we've gone into the... Okay, now there's a boat. What? I don't know what they're talking about. So I'm assuming there's a boat once you go inside there. Let it carry you into the cave where the shadows are waiting to be illuminated so you can be born again into the world without denial or artifice. Making a crossing is a beautiful, powerful act of the highest love. So this one is saying to be vulnerable. Intimacy requires vulnerability and truth. Can you strip away the masks and the barriers of false strength to discover what you're really made of? Yeah, I mean, ego, right? Going right into the next one. Ego, vanishing mirror. Shadowed. So that makes sense. Excuse me. Vanishing mirror, ego, sublimation, letting go of self-centeredness, becoming a vessel of possibility. Do you ever wonder if your self-definition has become too rigid, too fixed around what you've come to learn, so that you contract your life into zones of safe versus unsafe? This here is okay, but over there, well, that might be too risky. Judgment, fear, self-righteousness, and overconfidence are only some of the traits that keep you from evolving. We are all products of our conditioning, so remember that this is part of the human experience. Yet you are not meant to remain static. Seeking only what you expect, even if it appears ambitious, is still too narrow. You go nowhere when you hesitate to move out of your comfort zone. When you focus too much on yourself this way, you become a servant of the ego. It edges God out, removing the magic of possibility. Imagine looking into the mirror and seeing only what you are now. If you can let your self-definition soften, moving beyond the veil of your potential, a magical emptiness exists where all things are possible. Look again, who could you be? What would you see reflected if you allowed yourself to be, other than how you define yourself now? Nothing less is required of you now. In this moment, let go of who you think you are and allow a new you to emerge. You will recognize yourself as what you are. A partner in co-creation in service to the divine. Doesn't it feel good? Yo, that was dope, son. I like that one. Oh my God. Because that's exactly it. You will in doing so, you recognize what you are. And changing who you think you are, you recognize what you actually are. You're a partner in co-creation in service to the divine. I don't like service words, man. We got to get off of this. You know what I mean? I got issues with a lot of this lingity, but that's okay because we know what it means and it's all good and it's all love. That was a good ass card. I'm not even going to take the heat off of that. That was on fire. What, man? No, ma. Jeez Louise, she thinks something's wrong with me. I don't know why. We just texted like yesterday. We got to do Lemuria. I'm going to do Sacred Earth because we got the Archangel, we got the Dream, and now let's do some Native American. I'm doing 5 cards, a whole bunch of cards. Let's see what else comes. Salsa, taco. Oh, man. I just had a breakfast burrito earlier. I could live off of those. Breakfast? I could live off breakfast. That's it. That's all you need in life. And fruit. I'm like a fruit being. Okay, let's see. Moving forward for this week. What is the Sacred Earth? What is the Hachuanaka Seka? He wants to say something. It's this guy on the front of the book. What do you gotta say, Mr. Native American? The true natives. For real. Oh, that was no. That's too many things for you to say. Yeah, that's too many things. It's only 5. You know what? We're gonna do it. We're going with it today. I'm not holding back. I'm not gonna act like my ego knows how many cards I should have or shouldn't have. Okay? It's a 3-card spread. Shut up, ego. Make sure. Okay. So renewal, revision. Whoa. I don't know what they all are. Potential. Hey, we just had that word. Potential. Absence. And patterns. Oh, yeah. That's my card right there. Patterns. Patterns of the heart. What's she doing, man? Cool. Okay, so that's it. I don't even know if I'm not going to read all of these. So we got renewal. Cross the bridge. Do some new stuff. Be new. Clean your chakras all the time. Revision. I think that's kind of the same word, but this means coming back to life, right? So like you renew yourself, but now you're with the vision. So you're like actually putting it together, right? And then we got potential, right? With all the potentials in the universes, right? And with the ego's absence, you see what I'm saying? With absence, you are enabled potential, right? Potential literally means not yet really happened, So it's like, so if you're there, then it happened. So yeah, I don't know that absence. Okay, absence, and then patterns. We got to do that too, like ugly sweater, Christmas sweater. We got to do like ugly tarot reads, right? And we could just like get them wrong the whole time. Oh my god, I have so many ideas. I need a production crew. Okay, like seriously, like I want to make the Ascension movie. I want to like. World ain't ready for this. But it totally is. I know. It's just starting to get there. I still want to know. I got to read this. I'm going to read patterns. And then patterns. Rinse, repeat. Right? Wait, wrong way. Wait a minute. Right way? Hold on. No, it's her. Hold on. Okay. Renewal. Rinse, repeat. Revision. Potential. That's right. Pattern. Oh, no, wait. Absence. And then patterns. And do it again. And then do it again. And then do it again. And then do it again. Oh, I want to read patterns. Even though that's like probably the easiest one to. Feeling that history is repeating. Yep. Breaking a cycle. Stop and learn the lesson so you can move forward. Exactly. From the flawless patterns of your spirit, a great light shines upon the world. You are a leader, a healer, an inspiration, a free spirit, unrestricted by traditional thinking. A desire to be all you can be and a vision for positive transformation draws you into deep exploration and clarity. Break free, reshape your destiny, and follow the spiraling, intertwining pathways of peace, love, and wisdom. No doubt. No doubt. Okay. We're good. Look again at what? El Paso. That would be like, I don't know. You know which one I thought would be fun to try to pronounce is what would Sagittarius be? Right? El Spaghetti or something. What would Sagittarius would be fun. That's why I say, where's Karen? Where's Karen when you need her? Karen! Karen! Sounds like Sharon. Sharon. Right? Okay, guys. I'm spent. It's been 3 hours. I think that's my longest live yet, which is cool because I wasn't expecting that. So hopefully it was helpful for you guys. And hopefully I'm not just repeating myself like over and over. You know. Sag Tutares, right, which is Spanish for 3 legs, 1 arm. If you ever heard that, you ever see that video? Wait, what did that sound like? That sound like the Cups? Okay, yeah. I never watched that and I don't plan on it, so don't tell me. Okay, I love you guys. No, thanks, Linda. Yeah. I'm gonna go recharge for sure. So love you guys. Thanks for checking it out. See you on the next one. Bye-bye. Peace.